to yes sir be able to me akonkan ama na so oko because one hwe na weda no etumi drop here ho be fa pa na onya medu fit ma ho be fa o se me boss gegegege na me pese obe yare and the be dey weather report ni ma na so okwa na otumi bibia tumi akonkan ama eche e be call sports update e sports update na say ma sports update no ma me twa mo kakra me ba me the sports update me mo na bibia tumi akonkan Unity Radio 103.9 menye fide ni free aha na nkomoda nyina o me ba sisia me
be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up. For the champions, stand up. For the champions, stand up. Stand up, stand up. For the champions, stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, stand up. Stand up, stand up for the champions.
We are standing up for champions. We are standing up for champions. Just started our Kensian Semna, a Kensian Sem there, Bakawa Sema, nay, Anochi Chrome restaurant. Anochi Chrome restaurant, almost saying, Anochi Chrome restaurant, oh baby, me no Amudio Muja, Bako 687 Maybury Street, and about 21 Level Street, and a 2 Square off Park Avenue, no so. Oh, quite any be our Pebiano, when you be Eddie, now so when Yaji. What my hotel, no did, and I make us dine in, and I will try take out to so no be at me concam. Any beer would be a chogana beer, or quite a beer, Eddie, and I send beer, Udi on Onumbio, or Chagana Chibiano, or quite a be animal, and can kind of teach you in self-full, and maybe beer, Kosu Amam. Now, over say, order Bianum, and Sana Wakwa, Kojima, take out now. Baby Street, no money, 508. 753-8471 508-753-8471 or from na Alex Kofi Alex oh obejo dan kama obe kona biano ay crowd na kwa kofa omo mo koso mo Park Avenue no so na 21 Love Street na 2 Square no. You see, some catcher will say, you know, call suspension, buffet, any live one, call suspension in December, but a bounce back, beam. I made okay saying January 2090 Basu wade gidi cry or 21 Level Street at 2 Square or Park Avenue so live band any buffet no Basu den and you call na you dey ko sia dey bay and adwumadi Basu 4 p.m. so you drop well call 4 p.m. now akotra we dey $40 per and abetua we ko didi ope and wasa we anafi okofie na bibia tumi akon nkan ama o so pese okoto aduane na okotra na dia obetumi akwa ense bia onu bia che aduane bia odi bia che Ghana bia no kwa omoye bi na okwa oso betumi nya bi mo also pese we take out no no ma we first number 508-762-9991 508-762-9991 Dream African Market African Market for ye bi nche kra is me no ka say omo ye akwaba promotion akwaba promotion na Dream Africa Market ye friend no Paul Amatema o share the camfor o ma be mu ahifa o ma be pie mu 369 Benko Street or Ben Lincoln Village and Mamo Lincoln Village and West Boyston and then Portem Hono that's Andy ya mo ba Main Street number be di Jawo Main Street ya no say de ba kwa be bem huna no say look I say to say drive all the way to Main Street and now to Usa Main Street Benko Street wana be abebe so 369 Benko Street wana Dream Africa Market a new African market be almost stack bibia ho and I know Minya Ahmed or Kokudi Jara say mo kan ampa ono akwa try akwa so ahwe nti bibia kama also call okwa benya bibia to bibia obenya biato oho omo phone number ni opoma na obeso no this hour so omo phone number ni 774 578 5204 774 578 5204 and Dream Africa Market ye be fofo akwaba promotion sire also ye ma bibia timi konkan ye fu ayan fa ye nche Asamas or 1084 Main Street African aduani bia ope bia okwa benya bia ato apart from that no almost our coastal and as more tonam fresh one fish bia ope bia no okwa betumi enya bia ato ho na Asamas say oto be didwa na say odwa no ebu $150 or the beko fia ma free on charge free of charge bibi bia ope bia Ghana aduani bia odi bia che bia no okwa Asamasa obetumi enya bi na so wato on confirm adwinning tilapia drumstick turkey drumstick and then sina and then next it is a bibi bia okwa obenya bi na so akwa kwatwa nkwan na nkwan ma hwehwehwem chicken dry one ni chicken hard one ni and the soft one ni na akwa obenya bi na wato na wotumi so ama nkwan mu ayehwem weekend and weekend baba ne be so kodi ujana o de bon nkwan this for the week ho na so kokopim na Samoa etumi boa na bibia tumi call for Asamas on this number 508-796-5117 508-796-5117 Asamas omno maso asin ene one Anochi Chrome Asamas and Dream Africa Market ono maso asin me de okansie mu sam ede bro wa fiefiem ya cheche so no yanko fie na ya fie sam no ema etiefo ese ka kopu efe ehwe no anoma monten se say de akoba ne say ma bobo no say o ma imagine say ma bobo no cutting razors and maybe obeko Ghana obeko akobo say wakobo across folk ne Great Olympics no ma no bobo ko no bedi kan bebo and cutting razor and on bo wi ansana team na kasa aba say be ma kai kade no na okọ Kumasia na Ghana bibia answer number ball no na under 24 first squad na coast for no and we bucket razor 5 feet for no we bucket razor na ewo mu ana e beti under 20 no se kotoko ni house na be ba kotoko under 20 house under 20 no e be bo na crowd no nto mo ana omo gada mo confidence nto mo be promote be graduate omo no maba but say de omo twani na mo say de ma bobo ko mo say ma bobo ko so mo kwa manone a omo tigana fo anim nto ma bobo ko no na omo so be cutting razors ama Ghana for Premier League no na bibia tumi akonkan nti mo hye ne suman nti FF no be isu a man boboko as cutting razors ama coming matches na bibia tumi akonkan ma ye free wa yan fa ni nchen Accra so folk cry ya be mi na Accra so folk aso ya ni say Accra so folk ho e kire omo ye pa ene say Accra so folk emnate di bebre akakokopie mu chan 2022 a omo bond 2023 na na akakọ say Accra so folk weekend yes omo de mediama okay say mediama as makasa say menua mediama menua omo no mkwakosi akan memende na cry me eba ya tie ne say Accra so folk omo finding difficult to raise a team to play against Mediama and say omo man tedi bebre prepra ntisa nti ama Accra so folk omo tumi enrezi players emomo nkobo na man say mo prepra no majority of players no so omo ya de pa awo ka chan team no mu awo Algeria so omo si akan nti ni sa nti across folk for say emo kwa hunyehia mu omo pese se komo de omo bo no omo nya na kese na so ekọ Algeria omo sie akan amomo enti across folk omo se de no man koye emomo enti omo so ensema omo de ababetu eho no na de ama atie fo no enti se across folk be catch penifo se omo suspend say omo match na all the time with term akwasi apia so e de ensem bia babetu edwa mmamra na interview no na so de ensem to dwa say onu hu de biada say abantia hefe no asamoja odi captain's band ni free ntem mmamra omo Cup of Nations no 2019 Cup of Nations na oje captain's band no odema dede no ye yompo na this amount kan sem bebre say akwasi say wo maybe atwamu 1992 yakọ Senegal zikin shomones Dakar mo ko Ghana for ekobo AFCON yaje captain's band ni free sem de ma abedi omo reason say abedi de ote French nti akwasi ade ayo bi da na wo de ebiaye asamojan ana akwasi de say me de ade me ye de dabi me no me hu da me de ka se me sesa bi ma mesesa na masesa asesa bi ati akosi apia no so ensema ono aka na say ensema o kan ne de on regretted that say o change sa captain's band no de ma de before answer they call AFCON 2019 no enti no so ne akosi apia ensema ono so de ababetudwa nka baba no enkrafo fo abepiem say wan hwe abrantia bia okokosi akan ma Ghana World Cup ni ti ba be yeye ama onso abebe Premier League ni bi abo abrantia America na semi ye fe no Antoine Semenyo Raniba di Antoine Semenyo ono na wan hwe ya ni ti ba bebe ama na akokobo Premier League bi enkra akokopiem say wa bebe si AFC Bournemouth so mo Premier League me say me no ka say no man koye kra mo bebi omo dan de nye kra wo Premier League ni mu but en kra akokopiem say wan hwe ya na Antoine Semenyo etia yeye na watumi akosi akan ni bi ama bobo kwa from AFC Bournemouth wo Premier League mu enti eno no nkra abebepie Antoine Semenyo asa aye ahwe enti se bi no ka say wakopie mu ebo medical ode ema AFC Bournemouth say omuda 18 in the league lock enti Antoine Semenyo me no kai say wakopie mu medical sa se bibia tumi koye na nakoma no ede ni bibia ekonkan a Antoine Semenyo bakosi akan ama bobo koye from AFC Bournemouth na bibia tumi akonkan ti okọ World Cup na se oba eno ma tumi ekwan bie ma eno bi ekwan bi na bia ma Antoine Semenyo as say ode nani eche bobo ko a from AFC Bournemouth na wakosi akan ama omo na bibia tumi akonkan
best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. Stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, can't you see? I'm on.
Ekuswa the akwese unsemo brewa. I Unity Radio 103.9. Ajuma kwa omuso ya sime sports update bro Anochi Chrome restaurant. Asama Trading and a Dream Africa Market. Omona so ya sing di jumedi ebro. Yefi wa yanda ye ninche battery first Stoneboy. No because the Stoneboy they call a musician. Na ere na ni din ebebe pimo football. Stoneboy edin abebe hu say be football mu say abranche ba kwa ye fe no Asama baby Jan Stoneboy dey abebe to just say Asama Jan e wa kumapa e say maybe twem no accident bi ba yama na ne nan ba ko na otogusu kakra na Asama Jan e na bo modern pace ka bi no the supporting no man ko surgery enti de bia no otunuma na say osori na obom pa obobi ma Asama Jan say Asama Jan ade a oyem ade fefe oyem ano no so de ni ye pa enti ono so sema waka eno no yakosua de akansie hu sem bro na sema ya kan say yakosua na tie Unity Radio enkavu from you say Asama Jan asan akan say mebre Asama Jan ho asema bebebe Asama Jan say ono de Ghana for some you say enche ye be pa new coach na wa be senior national team the Black Star no wona Asama Jan de also de na no be tu say amafo be kan sem say enfa coach why na memesi akan na Asama so asema kan say nka be ya nka coach a say onimde ana command respect asan say obehwe am say Ghana for we man tell be bre so mo kwa manoni ba na local coaches no ase omumbu omo any say bebre eno bebre no so be boss juvenile side na so mo bo omo kwara bre mu na omo bo under 17 no any na 20 no na dade no bebre pa che say any under 23 bebre pa che say even senior national team Black Star no kra no omo pa che say omo be bo ase na local coach omo ji omo adamdie ana first bribe ansana omo mamabo nti omo kọ na so omo kọ amanone na omo baro mu se coaches na omo ho no omo de omo show merit to performance ansana omo jai omo wasi akan na omo bad sana omo de omo pese omo pese amanone de anase omo mbu local coaches no nti Asama Jan de na no abebetum je se nke be ya nka yenya coach a nanim be wonyam mrantie no mo ba on bebu no enkokoye local coaches na bebre ede omori aye bribe na se amana mbehye mrantie ni team se obukwa mononi a omukosi akan a yanje omo bribe ba kwense bi ombesi bia no musi man no matumi ekonkan mom yepa enti sa Ghana coaches sensem no na Asama Jan so ede na no abebetum je se nka be ya nka omufa coach na nimbe nyam ankrafu fa abepiem no se abrantia ono so be si akan ema the senior national team World Cup no na dodo afise ono na mo de boko kan ema the senior national team e fen Tariq Lamptey no ka kopiem se no be owo no Brighton Hope Abio no ko bia se onya boy Roberto di Zabi by no onya bo ni ebi mbo kase bia ba ko World Cup no de me hu se obobo Martin ba sana no obehia more playing time eto team a e fen Olympic Lyon war France abrochi mem say nka wonpinya nka omunlo no sa Tariq na ombra no be si akan ema Tariq Lamptey me be si akan na onya more playing time war Olympic Lyon eti Tariq Lamptey nso sema ba no ato asemenyo ekọ Benimont Tariq Lamptey de wan hwe a na obedan ani akọ Olympic Lyon obekọbo loan na bibia tumi konkan mana na ono soso atumi afa ntima pefra na watumi eja ne naso na bibia tumi akonkan ama boboko no eti eno ne esema local news a yede metiefo yefiwa yenko yefa ni enche enfa yefa ni enche amanoni emunsem amanoni se na ebekọ no eneda matches bi etodwa matches bi todwa wonse omobo Carabao Cup no and this another cup ayana for no bo England for no bo omo England for the cup bo Carabao Cup and EFL Cup no omo bo wi a omo bo FA Cup as omo bo Premier League na ankasa enti omo bo cups be miansa ansa na season a start nenda EFL Cup ni ebi ba so ho na Nottingham Forest transfer ma Manchester United eko twa mo ka miansa ɔmantumi ante ɛka no bi kra nti Manchester United ɔmbɛkɔ manim na ɔmbɛkɔ kusi akan ɛna matches ni bi so kɔ Bundesliga matches ni bi kɔ so ɛno so Mainz 05 transfer ɛma Borussia Dortmund ɛkɔ kɔhyɛ ɔmo ɛka mienu ma ɔmo te ɛka no baako afei so Augsburg so transfer hyɛ Borussia Mönchengladbach ɛka baako ɔmo so mantumi ante afei Bayer Leverkusen ɛso transfer hyɛ Bochum ɛka mienu ɔmo so mantumi ante ɛka no ɛna Freiburg so ne Eintracht Frankfurt ɔmo transfer ɔmo kɔ tipenko obi ahyɛ ne yɔnko ɛka baako Werder Bremen and a sensational club say a surprise package Bundesliga this particular season. The second in the log behind Bayern Munich from Union Berlin. Union Berlin try Werder Bremen eko show moka kaminu omomoti karumbako. After ofiwa Copa del Rey and also a Kappa yana Spain for and obo and also apart from Premier League ọmọ bọ ọmọ sọmọ company fa Copa del Rey ọmọ bobi ẹnu na Barcelona transfer ẹhyẹ Real Sociedad ẹka baako ẹma ọmọ ntumi ante ẹka no ẹna afei Osasuna ẹne Sevilla no ọmọ ọkonya ẹkọ extra time the extra time mu no ẹna Osasuna for ẹhyẹ Sevilla ẹka mienu ẹma ọmọ te ẹka no baako ẹno so ẹne ẹyi a ẹde abrẹ Copa del Rey no Yankopa Yaduma ebi ebekɔ so ene Valencia ene Atletico Bilbao besi akan ena Real Madrid ene Atletico Madrid ebesi akan ene Madrid derby pa by the way the Copa del Rey Valencia ene Atletico Madrid no time no 2 p.m. ena Real Madrid ene Atletico Madrid no so omo time no 3 p.m. pepepe no dey share so na bibia tumi akɔ enkan afei ye free wa ye dan ene enhyɛ mfa Yankomo enkete Yankomo kete ababe PM ni say Chelsea for I say the branch back wa nanka omo de omani echi say omo akɔfa na fi Everton so maybe see akan my friend Gordon Anthony Gordon he say the nyadia omo beko san say ska Everton for penu anohye ye kakra na no sa branch na so nanka Newcastle United so omo penu ba mo say ha normal see kono so omo je chide nti Anthony Gordon Chelsea ene Newcastle for non komo penu no anhwe ya brantie no omo nyanko na nkrafo from so abrantie no say na the transfer news ni koso no be 2 days ni onya MC training grounds na Banfo Paris so ko twen ahwe se bi anko obetumi adan nani akọ bobo anase ogusi akan ama da say Chelsea na Newcastle nti na ofie nti 2 days no onko training enu nka apiemu wo Anthony Gordon asue ana Everton asue Newcastle for say Chelsea for abrantie bi osi akan ma so omo mpɛ na omo de omo pɛ no omo pɛ pa sɛ ngobetumi be si akan ama omo abrantie efe no Hakim Ziyech a osi akan ema bobo ko efe Chelsea no say Newcastle for so manya Anthony Gordon na enka omo de mani be kyerɛ Chelsea bobo ko no ko sɛ abrantie ye fe no Hakim Ziyech no omo sabe ka no omo betumi be si akan ama anana esan say na nka omo ko Anthony Gordon papa o by Everton asking price of 60 million pounds 60 million pounds no say ano hyedodo nti omo bi omo ntumi nya nti se omo nya dia omo akɔhwɛ Hakim Ziyech obɛkae a ɔne ne bɔbɔkɔ ne fɛfo a omo fi Morocco omo go di 4th World Cup etwa mu no obai ne model opagya ne mu pa ne hom ne so dia ko enkoden ema Chelsea but then say bɔbɔkɔ for no pensan say coach for obai Graham Potter no omani nya more playing time nti ahwe Hakim Ziyech obi ade offer bia ba ansa na mbekɔ World Cup no kwan na similar for na dead betu dwa say nka omunya na nka obɛpɛ but he said the Newcastle for say omunya Hakim Ziyech a ombra na mbesi akan ema omu na bibia entumi enkɔ nkan ma omu ye fi wa yɛfa yɛ ne enhyɛ yɛfa Everton for so say Anthony Gordon so say odanani akọ bobo ko se Chelsea ana Newcastle nko so ebekọ Chelsea na abrantie a mebo ni din sesi ai ye friend Hakim Ziyech no Anthony Gordon eda na ni ekọ ada Chelsea na Newcastle omo so bekọ no makọ fa Hakim Ziyech na omo so obe si akama say omo visa Hakim Ziyech no na mbode mo ekọ nkan yi pa no so ne nsema ye de ema etiefo ye fi wa ye fa ni enche fa Chelsea bobo ko so de ababe tuja se abrantie osi na kan ema Overhampton Wanderers Wolves Portuguese ni abrante o san esi akan ma Portugal national team ye friend Matheus Nunes abrante no osi akan ye pa and the Chelsea for say Liverpool for yam nkwa na muhia abrante no yes so ye hia abrante ni bi and the Chelsea for Liverpool for kan komani say abrante ye friend Matheus Nunes no omenya no na we si akan amomo ana so Liverpool ebetuma reva Chelsea for say omusika bebrebe ya omoto yes no ka so maka so monto ombetwa na bibi etu akoso the Liverpool for and Chelsea for struggle say na say omo competing together signature of Portugal international friend Matheus Nunes no ba si akan ama omo enka ofo nso a esa aka ene say Chelsea for aso na no Chelsea for so step up omo bid to go and buy Abrantia and check no Everton for Okonya no obesi akan ma ye fedo Mahmoud Onana or Bejoni Abrantia o si akan ye ma pa Chelsea say omo do money kan say nka Argentine midfielder ye friend Enzo Fernandez World Cup winner nanko mu ben hia no say efi Benfica nanka wa besi akan amano ana abrate ba ko so si na kan ma Boboko FM Brighton Hope Avion no your friend Moses Casedo gomo hia no say on besi akan mamo ba so omo say anka sa mante menu ya bebi ba ko no do meni ato say mante FM no Mahmoud Onana si akan ma Everton no omebo modern ahese me kwakonya abrante ya beka Mahmoud Onana no enche kra na Everton for eto no na so Everton for akoto midfielder na obebesi akan ama omo na enche na Chelsea for edi sika ekọ akoto ni Mahmoud Onana Everton for ebejano ama na bebesi akan ama omo enche kra o na branche ebu na ketem efri Boboko a FM Lily war French Bochimemu 2022 ya anoda nani edi ba Everton oba no one year crown on Yandi Chelsea for say so many Moses Casedo Omanya Enzo Fernandez Abrantia Omonde when I kind of say Mwakotono Mahmoud Onana Belgium International Osina Kaima Belgium Boboko no World Cup crown omode ne ko ebie say omebesi akan Emma Boboko ye friend no Chelsea and Chelsea for and some for ye dey about Chelsea for dey say dey no mon pre no mon prepare ho say omode say scano hebua ni bua tomboli dey o discana aba na bibia tumi akonkan ye be catch am say Everton for ne Argentina for coach wo bon ho modi yi pa wa coach pa they say oh this is 67 years meka Marcelo Bielsa omuni ni di nkomo na nkomo ni mu no omugusua hwese ombetumi ni na twetwe nkomo ye but say omwe na say anye ye Southampton for former coach omo esake no ye fe no Ralph Hanseto say obabeti akan amomu say anaso obabet training and obabe coach amabobo ko for Everton so to manya say Marcelo Bielsa omakofa former Southampton coach FN Ralph Hanseto so omabeti anaso be coach bobo ko from Everton na umtumi ndare enfi relegation zone no mo ba say omakokoto ensuonim nti omundare embra ensuonani say enoman koyi Everton there Bobby anim say a traditional club or Merseyside one there omo match na wache nti omo film no e ha dwen yipa nti nkrafo fra kopiem nkrafo fo no so Abrantia osi na kan ema Boboko a ye fe no Manchester City nkrafo fra ye sa aka ne say Abrantia fe no Jack Cancelo oye Portuguese Abrantia oba Man City na Abrantia no obo no mo wadi yipa Abrantia no number 3 no number 2 because we made for that they say no papa I friend no Pep Guardiola on you see Abrantia ni ba man say man ani enka wo Boboko no so awakofa small boy be friend Luis bi o so man botu na Abrantia de bi say akwa ono free ye friends mo academy under 20 no number ono ba betumi Jack Cancelo me kobo World Cup ma Portugal be de yande me nti enkra ya tie ne say Boboko a ye from AC Milan say abrante friend Jack Cancelo no so omo sakana obetumi ababesi akan amomo na bibia tumi akonkan ye free ho a ye mfa ye nche bobo kwa ye free omo Tottenham nkra ebebe mu say Tottenham for say omo hia abrante ye free no Pedro Paro obo osina kama Sporting Pedro Paro osina kama Borga for Sporting no be see akamam na nche ebia deal no is closing and the deal no aka krebi no mawie say abrante FN Pedro Paro no on be see akama Tottenham foi omo so mani abere enye omanya omo Chelsea fo no bia omo maye ifo yado a omo eji player bi free Chelsea fo nsem no unu say Tottenham fo so akoje player bi Danjuma Kokoji Danjuma, almost one had a Danjuma. They say almost so Pedro Paro, so maybe see a kind of moment bibia to me and come. Everton for I say, sir, I'm here press, I'm on my boamo, no more to me, then I call many and see Everton for call former Stoke and West Ham striker, your friend Marco Anotovic. So me see a kind amount about the Bante the Fisher, the Assamian, I say, see that kind of Bologna, or Italy, Abochi Mem, on some idea, I'm cheer for him. I want travel from also Bob Boko from Leeds United. I say, I want Bomodia at 28 million euros, $24.6 million. At the call United States, Abante be a friend Western Mackenzie, Osi. Nakama Juventus no mu abante maybe see akan ma omo but Juventus say omo here 35 million euros 30.8 million pounds for that 24-year-old American obviously akan America for World Cup no na abante ni modi mo konka yipa enti abante friend Western Mackenzie boboko friend Leeds so mu here no ba mo de 28 million euros na ko but Juventus say dabida Abante ni money come kind and Timopa Mofa 35 million euros and now 30.8 million pounds. And na Abante no Momameton na Bibia and to me and come kind. If we are Brighton for say, hey, I almost say a boy home wedding or I can see him Barcelona. I say I didn't go to ye and the Brighton for call Ukraine. Now Marco Pelmo center back and friend Makola Matiyonko. So maybe see a kind Abrante see a kind Shakhtar Donetsk. But Bob Boko from Brighton is only 40 million pounds and echo by the Shakhtar Donetsk here. Omo Ukraine honano and to quite see on Momuniska and to the Abrante the Omaton Padia Makola dia Omatono 20 million pounds. Na be to me ako and kind amomo. Our Brighton force here honano and travel from Abranche bakwa okosi akama Morocco na ni modi mo ekon kan ye efere Mamadou Hadara say me no ka say osina kama RB Lisbek omo diska bi akọ ho amano but Abranche me Hadara Mali ni mom onye Morocco ni Mali ni mom osina kama RB Lisbek but omo diska bi akọ na ska omo de koye no RB Lisbek say Abranche eswa January dey so mo person mo to Abranche pa senska we dey eswanti ebeya nka mo fa skari bi nka ho ye fi wa emfa ye ni che Sarante for so call Linton Town omo ko Abranche bi o si akan a fullback and also defenders no oboye pa omo de bid bi akọ ama Abranche no ama omasom say kitwetwe nti 25 year friend James Berry no omo diskako omasom omo accept Luton Town for accept say Abranche no ombe jana ma be si akan ama bobo ko e fe no Southampton Crystal Palace and so we option say omeko na Bristol City Ghana Antoine Semenyo some go work fa no but omanya fast they say me no ka say the Semenyo awako piemo AFC Bournemouth say oye medical say bibia to me go through obey to Crystal Palace for so enya 23-year-old Ghana Bristol City for striker no but they say me no ka say awako piemo Benham AFC Bournemouth oye medical say bibia to me ko ya na wetumi agba momo Crystal Palace so cry nyan so musunya abrantia Nottingham Forest for consider say ometumi akọ Inter Milan for aswe na abrantia for no Roberto Gandani so menyan so mesi akan emo na bibia ntumi enko enkan na ewona so medical dey atuja dada Brighton Hope Avion for abrantia your friend Tariq Lamptey no Olympic Lyon for so mhia say obabesi akan on loan until January ya no ba nka bibia tumi eweko nkan amomo no no so tumi akonkan nkramu from so abrantia na so Sporting for omo Portugal for omo so say nka mhia Ghana she abrantia ya nka so mba loan no me see akan ema omo na bibia entumi nkonkan the edit to say ball international sporting news no Barcelona abrantia omebeto no free Manchester City ye friend Torrent Ferran Torres no omo say omo hia abrantia nka omebeto no sama na bibia tumi akọ nkan ema omo abrantia no omo to no free Man City enche kra ba Barcelona for away option say omo beton na bibia atumi akonkan and the hana idea sport news ne beche enche obeti menua Manicho Magandi Tatarito mentene mempem wasem metene nka media so metwa mu kakra ba me ba afi de aka ne ye de beto aso
to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. Stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, oh, can't you see it? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. And when I fall down,
I Unity Radio 103.9 Yuguswa mo akwaba samo wachi haya Unity Anopa Bosuo na yakoswa yedi unjumen minia Manicho Magandi Tatarita mempem wase Master Jesus
Master Jesus
Master Jesus
Master Jesus I mean
Manicho
chewa bese exactly Wabu ejuma. I was really enjoying it from wherever I was coming from. I mean,
Manicho you makwaba.
Yeah, you know.
I'm going to say.
But because we na dia na.
No, sister beto ba. It's not beto ba. Sino anto ayi. It's no more at all.
Okay. When time about should time me do me also be a man wiper. So I'm say na if na me fi be wiper wo wiem sa. That means no precautionary. Say it's no be wanting go for no mom wiper. So.
But the advantage of the is no be ba. By that is so.
And the many
by say so no so no moment to snow no
amber. But that tells you that there's a limitation to the what nipa drink. Nyakopon pena would no tono so. I mean you want that, but at least you believe that he is the supreme being. Okay, yeah. But with the predictions, these are predictions near there. Instead we be not tear for unka crazy because a wind advisory near the say decided say bad nothing Worcester na said Chafa Central and to remember senior ban. But at least they are close to. I mean it's only by now at least there was a bit of wind near the that's how good they are. But at the end of the day, I mean it's a great weather out there. I mean coming there. It's not too cold. I said the day no. I mean shemusa would to benefit say you want to come. It's idea shema. It's a great weather today. Yeah, auntie.
But so let's start with sports.
Yeah, I'll start from the bottom up approach. Before bottom up approach. I mean we start to us here. The piano best start the hair follicle to the toenail. You start from the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, FA almost already. Women's football by getting raises, and I think it's innovative enough because I quite say Ghana, and especially journalists near the end. You see, the truth is that I once met a senior journalist, and I wanted to discuss women football. Catch him say, should he be brutally frank with me? I'm serious. I say he's not fussy about women playing football until you're not on to me young Wejuma. But I mean, very senior most journalists. One of until they don't talk about it. It's so painful. But to UK near there, at least they are our spare rib. Until you need to pull them along anytime you have opportunity. And say, even the male counterpart, for example, we are struggling to make the numbers, but at least they should play in some will get a chance to travel out there. You see, it's easier for women who play football in Africa to get scholarship opportunities than men, because once I say now, when shut down, and she said we are about Caribbean. We be a chance about UK now to come in. It's encourage you because you're crowing heading. Whatever you can do to make you get out and have daily bread for your fortunes for your family there, it's a good one. So I think that it's innovative. It's innovative. Say at least let's give them that platform. Say bebo mbema there 3 o'clock. Nya bamba na be jinin be if they will not play 45 even probably 30 1 hour. Maybe from 1:30 to 2:30 no niama. So that at least
before then I make say 9 times now a coach for 5 football on a boy na fi a bar under 20 clubs no ask ko to ko na be boy yes but he say the nina how much training na from the mad ne ba it's good now it's a grassroots football in Ghana and as you say it's become dormant. I mean you don't talk about it again. It's very painful. Because social most of the players you have today, I'm about coach. Don't bought money at their time now. No more coach. It's well they have chance to play. Aurora money at their no the rise. Yes, I'm about Kotoko, young Kotoko near a big crack cornerstones there. But they don't have some of these things. So for me, it would be good to let the women also have a feel of the booty in the idea. In a Chan, Heart of Oak not able to raise a team to play for the Chan tournament, to play for the local league because most of the
maybe a mom's injury and. Most of
but beyond that, last week, another person raised say, why are we not giving reference to our Chan tournament? Because in any serious jurisdiction, I think that the local football should even cease. Because most of the boys are coming from there. Nanka attention and Chan kakra. But quite say ya for Chan say a side gig bia. Ebinum ko boni league and so around maybe calendar fixtures league congestion. Namana yesa na yesa adianka. Anka local African football you look up. We Chan is our main tournament because your national team proper now say 80-90% of them are foreign based players. I mean unfortunately most of the countries have this thing going around them. Your book Rubia say maybe Madagascar, Sudan, but I'm even sure you can get professionals from there. But you can't. Most of the top African nations now 90% of their players are professional players. Into I quite say local footballers in China kwaye World Cup of a sort and also went and bar. I was thinking that for a period of like 2-3 weeks in a day and enjoy money enough attention there.
But most of them of African countries. Yes. One call channel, one call you Afcono, World Cup, almost say
no, because maybe they don't have players who are coming out of it. It doesn't help.
But you share Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, you know. But majority of my players in so free come from our local league, you know.
You see, but I don't want them to be the standard for me because then you don't give reverence to the major competitions. Your African Cup crap or still they are playing their league. I mean, who does that? Now what? 3-star players now say then how does the league become that competitive? They announce you say winners will be exactly, because if your best players are at a tournament and you are still playing the league, what is the implication and repercussions? I mean, how much way? Because every game should be fought, every point should be fought in the spirit and the latter. They chose to go that style. Maybe because I've not done much research there, I wouldn't really want to push it. Maybe a league congestion and a timetable near the end affecting they are doing this. You see, when you are well informed, you can have a very good way you can critique it very well. But media way I'm only
nice
intercourse. Exactly. You can your intercourse will be very strong and beautiful if you're able to, if you are well informed in a discussion. But if you are not there, you can only have a bird's eye view. Once you have frog's eye view, and you have enough information because you are closer to the action. I am thinking that hard to work in Reggie Tima. It makes sense. Because some of the what your 3 or 4 players are who are very key cogs in the team, you don't expect them to still operate at their highest level. Besides, they are in top position that they can win the league. I mean, with Kotokone, it looks like they are not far off. So every point should be fought for. So I agree with them that say maybe for the next 2 weeks and you hold on. You be another boys now back to come and play the tournament. Now Kwesi saying he has no regrets. Taking the captaincy from Asamoah Gyan. I think I dove my heart for him. I mean, these are things I want to hear from him. I don't know Asamoah Gyan's problem with this. You see, last time we were discussing it, maybe Ghana, we are used to question. You see, you are not under pressure to answer. I think smart people are the ones who sometimes they choose what to answer, what not to answer. Nobody puts a gun on their neck to answer. But when I say someone was a captain, then they took it for you. Now, coach, I say Arsenal situation. We live in a world that Coach Biaba, he on the first, second day of training, we say, "We now you're natural successor for me, a captain for me." Kwesi Appiah decided to take your captain, and it's a Bruni Obey and Kasa. Someone will be having some of these problems with him, and now quite he just wants to play that card. I mean, you see, you are living in the world in part. Do you know why I'm happy for Kwesi Appiah taking that decision and saying it's not regretting? Abedipele and Kwesi Appiah, we all know the fracas. Young guys, they always try to bring it up. What happened in Senegal '92? Kwesi Appiah, Mayele captaincy. Said he doesn't speak French. Senegal and most of the opponents are French in Tiejima Abedipele. So there was that general belief that on Sheda and Pe or Abedipele was that Munti or the affecting Mbano. But he took the captaincy, gave it to Didayu because he knows the inspiration. In recent times, Shropshire winner was some boy at that under 20 tournament in 2009, and we saw the impact that Didayu did in there. It is so I graduate here and if he's a coach, if he will be his captain. You some countries be Baron Ramsey Munia, they have captains here, not the senior players in the team. I don't think this should be a way. Or regret to Grand Kebemia. Besides, we are growing a hoodie. Asamoah Gyan is one of the reasons he win the tournament because you call we Gabon Equatorial Guinea near day. Bakuya onya penalty against Zambia. On shape no ko celebrity. 2013 there. I mean, I was so mad at him. Dancing unnecessary. They are interested in how they will celebrate a goal rather than concentrating on winning the trophy for us. That's Asamoah Gyan, they are not time baby cry. I don't know. Me then to say I mean, Stoneboy saying that they signed a new replacement surgery. No, Asamoah Gyan, a man is Kakoye. I think it's a call in the right direction. Asamoah Gyan made a lot of money, and if he decided to really, at that moment, spur of the moment, help some of these people, it's good. Last time it was him talking about Dombote, and this time around it's Stoneboy also talking about Asamoah Gyan. I think maybe Dombote imbibed that spirit of helping out to him. So I would say kudos to him. I'm particularly happy. Because Stoneboy, we all know what he went through. But and after the confidence about to hear very good music now. If Asamoah Gyan's name is being mentioned as part of the mesa, I think I'm particularly happy. Yes.
I'm suffered the story. The chant for was a scarce way I did mom those kind of saying. I know and cream me. I know affect here. It was a game against Madagascar.
Yes.
That's Kasem. Now can you should that you should be say. I say we are a side chick. And I'm my grandpa.
Yes.
And it's our chant now. Ebe in the near future no omba akobo abu amanoni no enti so the way almost city to locally na omkwa amanoni na say from no moba we say so moba mubu efefo na mu perifone because right now the treatment that they are giving out to them no is right because Caramon everybody say maybe 4,500 for appearance fee whilst will be call work up 100,000 when I met you yan ka say ni nyanye pe but at least
it's a commensurate. It should be balanced.
And no so what the man cross mo fa mo montemu mo train as
you Lucy first game
you
see that as I was speaking to a poll initially about an hour ago, and I was saying that there are two sides of the coin. I want to look at it front and back. Maybe coin is second fenu. Yeah. For the leadership of the country, over the years, some of these things happen over and over again, and I think that it's a sign of retrogression. Say, if you can decide the football biome, you are concentrating on economy, blah blah blah. Then everybody will know that football is a thing of the past. We shouldn't be wasting our time on. But once you want to play, you need to do the right things, and especially when this thing comes in the form of promise that mobile qualifiers, and they play 4 qualifiers. Each of them was and affording it's only 10,000 out of it each. It's a qualification bonus of 6,000 for going to the World Cup, 16,000. You come out to tell the whole world and ask Ghanaians that you pay them every money owed them, so they have to win for us. Only to know that out of 16,000, only 7,500 was given to them. It doesn't look good. Just a little over 50% was paid. Now, is it a matter of the government not telling us the truth, or somebody in the GFA is also holding on some of the cash for personal use near there? But in any case, that is what I'll say to them. But the boys too, no. Sometimes, I said John Boy, after kissing them, when you saw what happened to them. Sometimes, see beyond Ghana for the go. You think that if this team is able to win the CHAN, I can bet my last person that about 80% will get foreign contracts to go and play. It will give them a renewed way. Say, oh, your local league, it was not bad after all. Players in there are going to play against the Algerians and when they've won it. They should be well motivated in that area rather than being too worried about the little coins coming to. Yes, I call it coins because I'm in America now. But beyond America, no. If I'm still staying in Ghana, I'll call it coins because $16,000 coins before. Because when your chance now, say Thomas Tepatia, he's taking $240,000 pounds every week. Every week, it's a taxes square. By £150,000 a day when you're going to bottom. Whichever way, he's played to the highest level and he's gotten that opportunity. Into ABR, I didn't really see them one boy league, right? Tepati. Exactly. I'm Jeffrey Sano copy Spain or the airway. When you can football, put the money a chance to even wear national jerseys. So it's among 11 million or 32 million Ghanaians. You choose more to go and represent us. That in itself should be enough encouragement for you. As much as I agree, the my first knife goes to the handlers and the government as a whole when it comes to football. Then the second goes to the boys themselves. It's your own future you are jeopardizing.
So,
yes,
see me phone call the Ghana.
Yeah,
Leganes
Spain.
And about Atletico Madrid.
Yes,
2012, 2013.
So one shed
you side, and I feel Atletico B. And I'm going to call loan Mallorca, Maria, and Atletico Madrid, and Anopa Arsenal. But we have a story we are sideways from me. Former minister. Azeke Siama.
Yes.
Or si sports stadium 10. You see, I'm going to say now the 10 sports stadium no. Nwema. Osi across Ghana.
Wow, it's news to me. I'm ready for the first time. Maybe there are parks. Football parks are not.
Parks or science stadium. So no, or a pitch for a month for no. 10 stadium. Ankasa
or the Ghana for Sika
SCC ya I think we no minister we no ebe beto aso no o metro
aso when we na
no na eyi free o na e bi say hu say enti say eyi siama ne ko no onja hand over note bia engo za wastage in the economy and we na smart say when you politics no but still na politicians na they did me
but even there is the same party they ban kokoba bia onya krobo form
that's right
Crobofon, but they didn't coconia crobofon a warm unless the DBF criminal different the bono and cranny, but make a crobofon in the sense that it's the same party which is in power and they did a reshuffle, then they brought him to come and take over. You see, maybe the first one of us was seen maybe he started from what I tell him, that he started some 10 stadia in Ghana. When we na if you want the predecessor started, no buying, successor and buying. He decided not to look at it at all. To acquire white elephants in the various stages of completion. I use to. In a stadium near the parks near there, when we there, it can be used, and they're able to be using half near there. I think it's causing financial loss. I couldn't say, I can't say it any better than this. Auditor General, no, he needs to really look into some of these things too. You know, but a culture, it's a Ghanaian fundamental problem. It has happened. Even this NDC4E blocks in here, we know what happened to them. Even some of the way, no. But I mean, in this instance, and say Henry Siaman and Yawobe, New One Wabe, they are all from the same party. It is a policy. They agreed as a party to do it. As part of their policies to get some stadiums around the country for young boys to get a chance to compete. Why would a new one come and not think about it? I think he needs some questions to answer. In this time, journalism has taken a great shape. You know, you don't allow some of these things to be poured on you just like that. I'm thinking that some journalists should ask the current minister some questions, because it doesn't make any sense to me that they will leave some of these projects to lie fallow, and at the end of the day, everything comes back to zilch. And just like you said, these are parks. So if you don't attend to it, it becomes one costly too. You might even lose it, because at the end of the day, ground in here be saying now you say bush near the. So it's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. But like you said, these are my initial synopsis and a submission. I will look deeper into it and come and give you my candid opinion on the whole thing, because it doesn't really make sense to me that I mean it would let all these things go bad.
Okay. All right.
As a margin on the coach, that we should choose a coach that will command all the respect in there. I mean, he's one of the. It's more like a turtle coming from the river to tell me that the crocodile has stomachache. Who am I to really doubt? He knows very well that he's been there. He's experienced it. Respect this foreign coach is commanding. Local coach is not commanding. It's because there's some of the things we spoke about. Before they get to the top, local coaches, you know, one member scamming ball. Obi to me could Gina Park. Maybe so say agent no one manager no one. They want to know your manager before they even talk to you. And can play an abano. You make a trial. Why a trial? He's okay. On ball. Okay, I like this player. Then you go to the next stage. But you do stage here. We do one of them now. He wants to talk to you.
My almost say Batreme stadium and about Takwa stadium. And also did that 10 you know place time and the Batreme stadium no and Takwa and a Silano
stage of completion. I want to ask.
Yeah. And new Diviasi cross review and new Diviasi. It's stadium city bad 10 Nina abandoned.
It's painful, but maybe the predecessor was overambitious, because sometimes I think do 3 or 4 and do it very well, but you start 10 and you can't complete, and you go and the other one comes in. Ghana sometimes the upside down story is too much. The human beings work with their legs and think with their heads, but Ghana quite say the chase from the and straight from the paddles are the things that excite us are very, very trivial.
Yes. That was meant for Olympic side because of all African games now. Yes. But still, I'm still in Kwagme. I'm still in Wonderland, La La Land. That stadiums he was trying to build 10 stadiums. I think it didn't get the traction that it has. So yeah. I have to really, but I'm good at giving extra information, because I still in my head saying that a stadium. Then what was the capacity? Any idea now would be interesting to know. And Accra, you have some in Accra now. So yeah, but Greater Accra is in the Greater Accra region.
Okay.
Kufuado, September 1st, 2021, and our cut is sold for 145 million. Botema Sports Complex ahead of 2023 African Games.
A sports complex, 145 million. So where's the money?
Where's the money? Where's the money?
And who was this? It has nothing to do with blaming just the minister, because it's a government project. But just that is for the sports ministry, a sports complex. We're talking about make sure it's a Olympic size swimming pool, a boxing arena near Adina. I mean, then we let it go.
And I almost say another one, so the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, and so almost it was also abandoned.
We're having a beautiful stadium over there, round, very nice one. They've abandoned it.
They've abandoned it. Sorry,
Very, very painful to hear some of these things. And you look at the monies involved. I mean, some heads must rule one day. Sometimes that's why people say, oh, Ghani and Pese. But if you don't get a strong leader, things can only go south. There's no way you ever come north. South, never go. Yeah, so Jan on coaches, I think I've done that. Then Tariq to Olympic Lone, I think it will be good for him because all of a sudden, few times we need to be able. Under Graham Potter, he had a very good instinct. But this time around, or more often than not, he's really on the bench. He's been kept to the bench. And I know he wants to play. He took a gamble to leave Chelsea to go to Brighton. People felt that why would you leave the university to go to SHS? But because he was not getting playing time. And the Chelsea policy did not really have time for players like him. So he decided to move on. And I think he's not fared badly to the extent of even getting a call up to the Ghana national team. It tells you that he has something in him to prove. I mean, his speed, his agility, his when he very spot on. So I think that it will be good for him to get a one season away to go and try his luck there. So consistent playing time. It will be good for his own personal development and Ghana as a whole, because once you have your players playing in some of these major leagues and week in, week out, then it puts some credence onto the national team proper for you to enjoy. Foreign wise, I think the only one that caught my attention badly had to do with it. Anthony Gordon, Diana, Chelsea. Chelsea are ready to drop their interest in Everton, and Newcastle also saying that they don't want to go into it and brought in a bidding war. I think that teams should start getting smarter. I mean, those are some of the things that I see that unfortunately in this time around, Chelsea are selling marketing. Or Mama Nakwa say clubs are play a beer in less than 22 years, 100 million, or there's no talk. But football should not be played in that spirit. You are just buying a talent. Sometimes it can go very well, sometimes it can go very bad. So I think that for Anthony Gordon, he's a fine player. I mean, to play Obia should be there. You can't stay back and tell me that they don't really want him. But the truth is that, yes, yeah. So it will be more interesting to just let him run, then more to be an also. Thank you.
Oh, Manucho Bagani, Tatareto, and Pemi Wansen at Tinkano. Opo, Machima Kwaba.
Yeah, Nakalu, upon to say,
Nakopa Dumo, now swear.
Radia don't know what they pa, Yamin Medini, so Biazo, Muslim wedding, but Ansan Alabama Casa Crown is all Mam Kwan the Mamin Casting with Mr. Casa Cratching out to want to say a bad transfer one more fun and name see Chelsea, Chelsea as a market.
Oh, Marcel Marcel.
Obeso 2 sheets, I usually 2 sheets.
Oh, Marcel,
I don't know what I'm calling Danjuma. Free Everton, some don't get to talk market.
Oh, I'm going say 100 million. Now, Monto Munisca,
Danjuma,
Trossard, one they can be there. Tottenham they can be there.
But they didn't show seriousness. I'm not here serious. That's what the boy said.
So you have to say other clubs are not serious. It is who's a team Biako player. Nasa or new mood, you know, the bid that Connie reject Chanka men come be.
Oh, but Master Market. Some woman says it's 100 million.
Who the bid they are called? And go for a chomo. What they are called, one to me, what's not the Biako? See the party say, no one to me, Chelsea, Akotia, what's your same market? Everything, and no more trust out the film with them. And no one next is like I said, those Moko chairs, as is the Mumuska. I know my next Timuba, Mona Muska and Timutia. I said, I said 75 million. 25, no. Says, one of Momoko to a Moko fan.
25 years, I mean, you cry to meet you. Mukramu consulting.
Yeah, some value player no age. Any contract situation, because the contract a weary contract, I can't 1 year. Into the third on Wise is a player in about 6 months' time, a local free, no. Other than some go to 25 million pounds sterling. But Muslim Dimon say you needed him, player no value, into Mubetriana Mutia. Sanity, Mudrick, no, so no few say, or Westisa and Kamutia. It is a year if you say, or Westisa near Triad, Yetria. It's men Casaya market.
Master market.
Danjuma, Everton for Cotratra, Music Council. You're not talking about the merry go round. Sanity, you need to be Tottenham said to be the Everton. Sanity.
Master market, Mutia too much, 100 million, yeah. I mean, for a budding talent.
100 million euro. Anthony Kura Mutu Yakasa, Anthony. I don't know that be a money money Chelsea. Oh, yeah, 100 million euro. Anthony, I've heard the Manchester Frankers officially say they overpaid for the player. And one of them said, "Gary never cross so predictable." Anthony, 85 million pounds sterling. 85 million pounds sterling. Then be a Chelsea, the uncle and Moon others there. Manchester United, Liverpool transfer for Nunes. Manu Chumpacho, Liverpool transfer for Nunes.
Oh,
as useless as anything. Nunes.
I agree. Nunes there. I mean,
yeah. It's among come on, Chelsea in Quaso. Now, you do, baby. What I say, you do, baby. Inside market, Scania won the Niabri team.
And the Montoka I said, Enzo Fernandez now, Monco to turn out is Yamuchum Saturday. And Enzo Honum.
No, Enzo Fernandez is here. You move out from Enzo Fernandez. Is here, Perry. Everton for Nano, Andrew Nano. Fantastic news for that.
Or better team way, Enzo.
No, Enzo, you're impressive. Financial fair play. Yeah, boom, Ranosonia de. And I usually look for UEFA phone close to. And so we don't want to get into any trouble with UEFA again. And so we don't want to spend that much. We were going to sell some players to say Pulisic near demo. But unfortunately, yes, Pulisic the uncle similar na Anessa. And now no try into try. We were selling some players out to balance the books. But within they cannot do that. And they can't spend as big as they might have wanted to. It just be a some and almost me top players Nivea. Until and canon. Until Musun Cassia say market because I am marketing Yama. Ya black class no so Momunyesko.
No, but the amount they are raising, it'll be 100 million. It'll be 100 million.
Yeah, but me Anthony Gordon at Chelsea I'm calling many because I don't think, like I was saying yesterday, I don't know how many wingers they wanted. Wakoto Mudrik, Wato Maduike, Wato Joao Felix, was Anthony Gordon for what? I think it was a waste of money. Maybe they wanted to hype the player or push other teams so that Everton might get bigger amounts because Everton for say now normally are willing say or better player no.
Yeah, so maybe they were pushing. Say they are not entering any bidding war.
Yeah, Newcastle. Now Newcastle, I thought someone had the richest club in the world. Owners, no.
Yeah.
Now they are music. Until they can say you can you pre-mine you.
But then they say policy that
it's almost 5 years. Policy.
You know, the bidding war on someone yes, say I'm going to pre-player on no major. That's not also a similar philosophy.
After 5 years, in number 2 players, I can say is that what you're telling me?
I'm so a process. No more. Just say, this can be good. No first year. No more swagum. Gradual process.
No, they said they were not going to spend. Almost somebody a gradual process to take over the league. Now the Jolene Temone, Kalum, someone the league. They are good luck with that.
Yeah, young Casna, the points are for Lamborghini.
Asna, and as a winger, who stadium, you see, for you to know. Now, guys, they say, maybe I'm born. If you don't spend, you can't win.
Exactly.
And so, Pep Guardiola post-match interview here and about Zichenko, Gabriel issues. He's talking about them. I say, the boys stayed with them for so many years. It will be they say they want to go until to my Obayo Modern because Gabriel issues after leaving. So, okay, in the first interview, I think he feels a free man again. Because the demand for Pep Guardiola and Pep Guardiola, it demands on them, no, too much.
Wow.
And he feels free again. It gets to the point that we're a club.
He's a very lazy boy.
Yep. If you do maybe a player, as a club, as a spending.
Oh, yeah.
It's 1 hour you with Ngolangola, I know they come. Barcelona, exactly. Barcelona, and Nanka, Messiah, no. Omode nkwala ba na omu nyina na April Lewandowski kwa agba kokora ho na dey tell to almost 5-year policy Kalu Mutan quickly on local story Ghana Football Association and Black Galaxies meaning I maintain the local stories in the so story I'll pick here.
Oh, go ahead with the Fakao.
Me
raho the way a Ghana is here and Nyoma and I can stadiums and so has a mebo and there are some it is an auka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no kekeminya 1 minute because digest here. Ghana mobo. All say you be African Cup of Nations. Yeko World Cup no Kalune ye budget at the African Cup of Nations the account. So when you go bon kwala we tournament chan no you sorry see a local league in here abu trade the name of football your players now make on I'm referring to foreign based professionals no I from abuse can you suppose I from say I'm rough no so abu trade the Cup of Nations no World Cup na ye ko Ghana economically in Fasoviano and all your Swesika local players na say a boy mukrano sutuni epeja mu ne boost local league ninya stars in the league man league ni konkano I said no Indian Sports Ministry ni Ghana Football Association who share the brouhaha surrounding bonuses and no actual now very sad because ministry no once I feel more the clarification but ministry so more and share border so we be 16,000 Omugas on 1,500 per match. A winning bonus for I think it was Nigeria and Yeshomo home and away to send the qualifier. Until they were, I think Nigeria home and away and then another game. So in Tisika, Omudi Momono, I think 6,000 something as opposed to 16,000 now mono expected per player. So the question is. Other Nigerians before can say trauma. And a minister also say before Mubekono, Omuni agreement and on the agreement I could do tournament and I say Amuye and all the terms that people don't lie. So this is the paper. I say a local players no. Yeah, I see league in but from your sports ministry, GFA, I say some inspire boys no crano na Omubo now it means stars by league in no Omukana no. A very, very pathetic situation. I think that Ghana Football Association fulfills a champ tournament, it's not worth it. Being yes, you come from a local boys named Boa. It's better they cancel it than the yes, you can't could be on when you must say, I see a boy, I see a more na players say, could be a Ghana and Kwani tournament here, could count. In consider Benny, be free mistakes. We seem not to learn. But the senior national team could see Brazil every tournament in the year could be a Ghana a Kopusika. On which Nico Kusika, Edma and Penny for no more Korisika, no more say no. Oh, Abra here, Manucho, would you believe say Abai say stadiums in general investment BC? Abai so Unisika, who's a Kufado Betanas and another Betanas on the first Bosch from Siama as sports minister and said Obisi Sports Complex. Now not the inaugural speech in Krokai. Obisi Sports Complex in every region. At least Obama will be a sports complex in every region. And Siama Mosha here. With him, and let me tell them Kokuya Buamo. Almost a Banzo Niska into out of 16. I'm just saying, you shall look or share Boronay 10 regions. But as any Yancha regions, no 16, 10. Out of 10 now, so Mujiji site, I must start TV, also with maybe 5. What I say, 5. And then you have a large groups that are going to World Cup near man $100,000. Not $100,000. Who the coach come as a sports complex? Me I am. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, 14 billion. So now what the Black Stars Management Committee members World Cup I call and for so being a Ghana and your free so. The Omubinya security a chopono de here but the Ebayama or mine so for so na a tumpona edo man signa baby. Yes, sports complex and you say you bet me the Michael Essence, the Samoa Jones, the Dayus, the Stephen Appears, the Abedi Peles, the Tony Boys, the Circle Force. You really see between me and Jeffrey more. And then who share Stone Boy? So also cross up with Stone Boy in your
yeah, you're talented. I mean, he's
Stone Boy Kasane, so share or say on your in the say Sergio, okay, Sergio, some more than the tears coming in a man. So I say, and for so I bet me your sportsman. I'm just making a point. If you don't know, if I some more than mobile, Jessica, if you are Stone Boy, Sergio, here one going to me a day. M1, Accra Academy, some more than then or call mom. Yeah, AstroTech. Into sports infrastructure, no bound by no more. develop sporting personalities. Now, Brazil, man, to go back. You know, I know you know. Go back into history and look at how poor Brazil was.
Oh yeah, even still.
Now Brazil is economically up there because of what? Sports. Football. So, but be serious. That is why I'm so disappointed in this Ketukaku administration. And I'm so disappointed even more in the sports ministry. Wow, policy, how you better so film or trade. And today, promise not to buy or share what you are fulfilling 100%. Well, what's your boss? At least more be a region, be a one sports complex. And no comment to complete. But COVID is a bad year. It need be. Na kojo pon komi tuan nko 451,000 Ghana cedis as bonus. On my belly, say daily who say, already because the way things are going, and then what kind of story we are now around? Just say you don't see any positive thing coming out of the country. Say your visionary leaders, people who think about the country, people who want the country to go on to develop, to become self-reliant and all that. You don't see any of that. Everything we do, today. That's all we think about, and it is very unfortunate. And it's very unfortunate. I'm hoping that they can do something about it and begin to realize Ghanaian players are not Kalusha Ekasa or and I think I'll be very, very happy if Semenyo Mutumi or Bournemouth. But from the story that Kalusha was telling, I just said, and yet Bournemouth in Kwana Peno. I said Bristol City for also Peno. And a Bournemouth.
Bristol City or Crystal Palace. Oh,
no, Bristol City, no.
Yeah, this is Bristol City, boy, yes. And Crystal Palace near either Peno. Medicals. Medicals. Benimore.
Medicals were here.
Benimore. FC Benimore.
Oh, no, so I didn't know. Bournemouth, no, and then go Crystal Palace. I think it would have been fantastic at Crystal Palace because, man, who said Patrick Vieira players are almost me for Johnny. He said, Ezimo, what I said, the Ezi, the Zaha. Because I'm saying, Zaha will be leaving them in the summer. That's why they want maybe Semenyo. Semenyo football now to me the two maker. But whichever way, and I make catch an argument. I say Chelsea scouting now more near free fra. Who say to say the Nana Frank Lampard Kofano summer year and Omoko Penny January. He hasn't even played 6 months yet. And Omoko Penny January. I think it will be a very good move for Semenyo coming into the Premier League. And also or physically fit. Until he's built for the Premier League, I think that he's going to really excel, and I'm very happy. Sports are kind of only news material. I was over the moon because me feel says Semenyo one of the few players that are more shining or a World Cup now. He needs to really move on now onto me and the face of the Ghanaian players in the Premier League. Right now, we try and ensure that any player making airways. It's Jordan Ayew, Wademo, Jeffrey Schlupp, Shedan Koye, even Torre Clamty Krani and him said he has a bright future. With that knee injury coming back, and he hasn't been himself. And I learned this morning from the sporting update you gave us that he's been loaned out to Sir Francis Sahenia. The things in Semenyo back in the Premier League with his pace and trickery. I think that he's going to make some waves to bring up the Ghanaian flavor in the Premier League. And on said Ghana for sure Premier League. And every Ghanaian ever Premier League so I think that a very, very good thing. And I think that is pretty much it with the local news, now foreign news, Anthony Gordon and them say a brushing off car. I think that Anthony Gordon, I'm happy Chelsea have dropped their interest because he's not a player I think Chelsea really need right now. I don't think we need Anthony Gordon. Then yes, Newcastle so pe Hakim Ziyech. Manucho Misro Bompay Mami say Newcastle free Hakim Ziyech free Chelsea. I don't Gordon away. Okay. He's a player I just want out of Chelsea. He doesn't. For the last, honestly speaking, for the last 2 games, Kalusha play and on 2 can womuna.
Yeah.
Kalusha didn't want to go. For the last 2 games, they were there. The last 2 games, but I don't think that in the long term, Hakim Ziyech has a future with Chelsea. Until few on term, there was a Newcastle, no more counter-attacking, quick passing game. Until bet me out to 2 ball nama, Callum Wilson, Money, Sa Isak, Bino, Marco Fano. What I say. So, Oko Newcastle, and on 23 crown content, Ninya Konya, to me. In yes, can I find top players need him more, maybe Johnson to me conquer. And I was Fabrizio Romano, so there, Ninsam, or not Ninsam, your conquer, I say, Torres Lamptey. Ever call Leon for a year loan. Wouldn't sell Leon so a player no Chelsea and until almost Tarek Lamptey no. Sa a Gasto no. But I now pay Leon president is it Nadi Obertono. Manchester United Chelsea now Kushia or Mopeno. But Leon president is Montono. But with Lamptey being loaned out to Leon could pave a way for possibly Chelsea to get that player. Because the idea is to see Chelsea here about Benya Obi to me affected in James' shoes because James is pretty proud of the too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Boss Mbacho, my way.
All right. You better see see Opo na shana outside in Kano. Me dan ho kakraba me ba dia Kano ye de beto amso.
Best.
Stand up for champions. You better must say. I can say on some na idea be to jano. Pound for me that see pa na analysis in your conk. Manucho Magandi Tatareta Pem Wasem. Thank you so much for your analysis. Opo National. Thank you too so much for your analysis. My baby and some nipa kama pa my baby to me akonkan. Dear and check you better any na say de be no. You be call na yakoko twetwe nkomo. Amanyo semno time no me edu. Ba me sanka mu say Anochi Restaurant, Samas Trading, Dream African Market, 369 Benko Street, and Dan Auto, and so I see my sports segment, see, bro. And check, you have a diary, I call can among some, by what kind of man some say, Yamuti say, your bomb and
as some piety, or by Bosuo, Munia, one can as some. Mouth to some cacre was supreme. Yo, coffee, oh my woman, oh many a mamma, any baby, I call the tata, they are warring. One in your pa, as I did power of you. Yama
that's what choco. Politics ain't yet in Toko. Say, Ukoko Untako, we are savage. If you're NDC, MPP, URP, you're free to vote. This is our problem. You know, something happens here. What happened? Who? What? Why? And how? This is our problem. You know, hey, boom, something happens here. What happened? Who? What? Why? And how? Kokompe, that's what choco. Politics and yet in Toko. Say, Ukoko Untako, we are Abwa, we are savage. If you're NDC, MPP, URP, you're free to vote. Look here, my friend. Our problem is our leaders. You remember our great-great-grandmother? Yeah, Santwa. Did she depend on World Bank? Did she depend on Abrofo? She didn't. Right? And you change, Oduma Kuma Tradion Pong, Woso, Otutu Tata, you know, Baba Bibi Baba. You don't stand up for your rights. Democracy means if you do not criticize your condition, you understand, you're a traitor to the nation. Go see the council. Go see the people they got there. Dr. Kwame Naminimshi, he's there. Professor Dr. Mwasam Kwana Mishai, he's there. Dr. Professor Emeritus Kitwabiana Miredi, he's there. Nano Kuntumpo the first, he's there. You know, evangelist, bishop, Asorisi Kwana Miria, they're there. You know, they don't do nothing for you. We have no water. We have no light. Look, a small road they're building. They can't do it. From Accra to Kumasi should be a 4-lane highway. And I'll build it because I know how to build it.
Unity Radio, You know, we know radio.
More Kwaba Kesieba Unity Radio 103.9. There comes a political segment, and you do so. Nedusa Mayor, a good creative services, a taste of excellence. Manutre Dianibi or pepper on your quadma or cocoa fast, and fried rice and baked chicken and great chicken or koya 3 minutes. No, my amano, come on. Almost 8 Blackstone River Road. I'm a near Pentecost English service for no, and a shrew to call na almost only restaurant or more drive through. Oko do ja bibia abeko nkan ama na so wako do ja ewo ho o pese o from na o take out omo number any 774-420-7766 774-420-7766 and Kumasi market omo gumgusu new year promotion Kodako do jamo 852 Main Street African Market biani bia pebiano so kwa benya biato Kumasi Market omane Dunkin Donuts o Main Street no na ewe hwe nimu na kokodu ja o hona bibia ntumi enko nkan ema Kumasi Market number near 508-754-2215 Sedma kwe na aso asin ema ye de political segment no de bro o fiefie mu enche makomunia Manicho Magandi ho na yakọ twinkomo na bibia tumi akonkan Manicho akwa baby
yenua
na bibia bokọ de
bokọ dominated
and we pese ye behwe from bottom up approach but me I am the befa Minister of Education NBC 73 candidates any 2 private students na ye twa mo yimu say 73 there almost the cell phone and a call BC almost got exams no exams so no all the yako until almost sake and almost cancel you know and Minister of Education so say the who say na joy for a year be say education school of shame into whose side you know documentary on the real queer say Ghana oko northern region will be bia amanfo bi at city form and eco school ebi musu ni classroom ni adade and I'm call the documentary the by no so share no the real queer but then also at that same time also say there's positive aspect of Ghana mantin ebi mu bom modi and then about only be more modern but joy fund dey bia na negative Ghana okumko for buy na no raho but we baby say so mo ya de pa say kan ore ho so mo kokko hwehwe other area ho say mo boas education be kono so education I say the center of Kumasi Accra but akọ the hinterland na be villages na o mo here facilities they don't have it and to also akọ document no your chair say mo na mo share bo say bo mo modern aye sa no mo na mo yemaya me kan na they have to say it into no any sense ma aba e di manage to emphasize same to na ve am some aka ni na ye NDC for omo changes no eno na ono so e ka was more or less changes no and I feel we few na Kennedy say no call also empower say or declare intentions so per se or running for a presidential race no na ambition but first two no BC and crown fe na mo wie GHS na mo start say more is more practices we more the yi call our exams do you think is it a step in the right direction and now Ghana education still I say and say Manucho?
Yeah, I think the first one had to do with the Minister for Education saying that Nirehoye when Joy FM had a documentary of education of shame you see it tells school of shame it tells you that maybe he doesn't have his ears or eyes on the ground because Joy FM did not manufacture anything. They just went to interlands in the idea where people are we are told people sometimes even drink water with the animals.
Let's say baby cry, let's say baby cry do me food. And not to from now. More.
Yes, I mean a country in that state way in Diani idea now you chrome. You see, even being a minister and putting around, you see, then where would the time change? Ghana, there be a culture of silence. We are by Juma. You can't talk even when you are being killed. The worst is you resigning. But once you decide to make pronouncements to better your own life and that of your colleagues, there are a 90% chance that they will sack you from the job. And that is what is pertaining in some of these instances. That's a minister, and I'm sure he's staying in Accra. So Debiano, who sent is from back or Richard School, or more call SOS, or more call Wena Ghana International, without holding brief, because if he says that he needed that documentary to know that the educational system, you go off a bit of Accra now from Mr. Wumni Suhumni Kaswani Adenian, you go and see things that you marvel that Yenya Ghana for there. And education there, it should not. We should make it a priority, because when you educate, America is great because it tries as much as possible. Say once you are on American soil, you need to be educated. It helps you to even road science. It prevents accidents and unnecessary pressure near there. So I think he feeling that way, maybe a step in the right direction. He just needed the perfect documentary to tell him that, you know what, all is not well with our educational system. People are far behind. A quantity say Ghana and America. A one ewa. In reality, it is far double edge. Ewa pa 2 standard of living for an average American and any Ghanaian, you know. Ewa pa a janitor in America. Or she say nisikati film crown ebeka. Doctors now they are Ghana crown. I'm not sure doctors in Ghana are paid more than 10,000 Ghana cedis and 15,000 Ghana cedis. Obeka just say commensurate. You pay high bills here. Just a single room one, which has $700, close to 55,000 a month. Ghana 5,000 can get you a 2-bedroom for 2 years and at 3 years cry. I mean $5,000. Yeah, it can be 2 years, 3 years. I mean $5,000. So the reality is that our education needs a lot of revamp. And your crown, you see, Minister Webano, not you saw charter school be or California. I do know he needs to get off the high horse a little. I mean, with all apologies to him, because when I'm sure they've started that exam. Edu baby know himself as a standardized for class 4 near there. Me it's now catch and say these things are he's living in his own world. America not try, at least the schools are just like franchises. Oko to McDonald's for
Omo testing.
Yeah,
I mean, class 1 for omo class 2, class 3,
standardized.
class 4, yeah, test.
It's for what?
I don't know.
You see, I said Chroma say no. Oko to McDonald's for Boston, not to Worcester. Are 89% or 99% the same in terms of price, quality, and everything. Inti what say we a competition, it is easier. But here they no why cannot went here no. After no who say binum work class 4 table cry baby obetin on the food the form no the board chop form. What print paper command on your test. And a standard test in your ben one cry binum nye bin ye. What you crazy there won't count. But education is for all of us. I mean, it's really a tough one, but the good thing is that he's come to that realization that, I mean, there's a big gaping hole, there's a lacuna, there's a space, there's a gap that we need to fill. Let's see how it goes. What my second story being so now?
Second story now. Say I can't na a BC phone.
Yes.
73. I cancel.
Yes. On my cancel on paper because they took mobile phones today. What is happening to us, Mia? On technology in our for Africa, and I say boy and I say saying, you see, as much as I'm a firm believer that the world is changing, Chroma say, basic school crampa, the kids have mobile phones over there. I mean, when you're 12, 13, I've seen those kids holding mobile phones. But Ghana near one, you ever just SS scrap, you can't take a mobile phone. Fine, because of some of these things. And on all grounds, I work treasures, who cram mobile phone. What the quiet then? Who could you apply now for and I say, I think it's unfortunate, but I meant to say, some could be seen in the past. There should be a proper search, and I say, baby, na school na example, because of reputation, you need to make sure that this.
But that story, Kwaroma can say because say 73 day to me the Akoya.
Yeah,
that's some security system, no, for examination.
Relax, and yeah, papa, because on what grounds then invigilators were honum near the end. Then what are we doing to ourselves? That a kid will think of the mobile phone call or the. I mean, it's unheard of. Where a straight up summary dismissal. But beyond that, we still they are kids. You can say BC. Yeah, then we are talking about kids between 14 to 15 years. When you are 15, when you are 16 years, they are still minors of a sort. Chroma say Chroma minors. They don't even know their left from their right. So maybe 18 years. You know, customer, you're doing 2 because I joined them in BA. When she died, Why do you mean very soft, like a woman on heat? Can you the boss or anafa? That's attitude those kids have. It's a lot of bad news. I mean, for some of us, we will not sit here and be praising some of these things that kids took mobile phones to go and write basic education certificate exams. And you see, it's a standard test to take you to the next level. I don't get it. It's a waste here. Just like you went there, then SS level will be worse, because imagine these kids were able to pass through with this attitude to get to the SS. Then SHS level, me sure say more exams are worse things happen there. It doesn't look good. It looks like our education, basically, in Ejitum said there's a basic problem. And yeah, Papa, I mean, in terms of quality and across in there, but some of these things that you are hearing, it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that the kids have to lose their exam and to not get their results to move to the next level because of heinous acts. I mean, for me, it's heinous for me. Taking a mobile phone to an exam hall. Well, obviously, SS at the end, you use mobile phone, scientific calculators now. But mobile phone, it's unfortunate.
Okay, Manuchu, now, what's in Cancer? Or did not know the same about and then said 7 days it also will be back.
Yes.
They catch up on 73.
Yeah.
No more exams are cancelled 2 private candidates Zoom council on Modia. Mammy call Pro National Po, so what's in car? I'm a quabbium about my dear.
Kalume Joseph Amiraho.
I didn't tell Raho.
Now, joy for documentary Ghana School of Shame. Nami Nyanshe. I read the story by Nami Nyanshe. Sisia Manucho Kase, Enemy as a Mamin Pounce on a measurement. Nyanshe you can offer, but I put my head on my desk. Kalumiraho. Kaluja.
Oh,
Mera, Orenway.
Oh, I reckon some sense you have a bone.
And Bambisa Orenway, so we are no officer normal who be and Anna.
I say,
Manucho. Medoko Ghana Wati.
You want to it's worse than saying only me prison.
Okay, say I'm watching Ghana Nibiwa Modeneko Ghana or so the Mumfan Tumwa. Okay, that story no. Time now Buffalo and I'm watching 7,500 people via normal some the Moko Ghana. Okay. Omudio Moko do Bakosi or catch a police for the Sodio Omudeneko Ghana, the Mumfan Tumwa. It is a because now, Manucho, watch a documentary, no?
No, me share down share. I mean,
oh, this is Joya. Just make us say, I'll be a glance.
No, but Minister Nakasadia, I don't need to be told that it's a really sorrowful one. To get to him to pass comments.
The way they did the documentary will make you even more sad. When you share graphics now, the man who is more President Kufuado. They inserted and embedded in his speeches on poverty and in inaugural speech on education.
Yeah.
I was trying to write something when Kalusha was calling me. I say, poverty should not be an excuse for any Ghanaian child reaching their full potential.
Yes.
He was talking on education. And a joy for the I mean, you know how documentaries are done.
Yeah.
But fast forward. Nkwalane da form money to omo da form no mo chere. Hey! Oh my baby. Oh God. And then you have people chopping money like crazy, and when you talk about it, people fusa ubone party. Enipa food da form kwala. Nanado ya kwala to say omubi ebe a president, and you did talk about how akrumha omani bre she owa kwada kra manucho na se sebi nyamimpangu se owo disabilities kakra kra. They make special provisions for those children.
Yeah, I've seen some school buses special, I
know yes, children with special
special abilities.
Special abilities.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. They do that to inspire the kids to know some we are unique.
Yeah.
children with special abilities, special needs.
Yeah.
So, yet your mind, na your president, I can't say, poverty, any excuse, sir, aquadabi, into me reaching potential our education. Na yet, baby, aquadada from the food that form, na or they draw paper so. Enye buku social document ne do a te say A4 sheet ya me use a paper any chrome no mo choro so and or da for mo choro so enye kindergarten fo nkwada o manyini some are 7 8 9 10 omo da form pandai and this is not only an isolated story of Pandayo. Manicho last year, I think we were even going to raise some funds. Okay, or real from one or a child with special educational school. No?
Yes,
teacher Fonica in so Tokra, no more upon school. You remember all those stories? And yet, an isolated story, a scattered story across the country, even where the region where the president comes from. And even in Greater Accra region, some part, even in Ashanti region, the remote areas, and you couldn't have nailed it right. Also, by a standardized test, Obeti Accra, Oko School Achimota, or all the facilities as a Unya, Obeti Chukuma Crassity form, Chro paper, so I would that from the food that form. Also on this panel computer, did you see that video some few months ago? Now, the mouse no.
Yeah.
Obi a computer mouse who are Johnny. And obi the computer mouse they grow a cry. Also, munko test ya the crow. Equilibrium benny. How is that possible? That's why sometimes, education minister, we all buy and so on. I don't know. Nami so said, him being here and being an educationist, having known the system and having studied the American system for so long, because Papa, we are buying now, education minister, no. Who say, Manucho, now civil engineer. But when you count 5 pillars of economic development, number one, the infrastructure. Number one, infrastructure. So, many betumpo infrastructure, education infrastructure, health infrastructure, food and agri infrastructure, infrastructure. You can't infrastructure. If you are Ghana for road is part of infrastructure. So, into one to me, and my education and yet popular education into me developer without you tackling infrastructure. And that form, that form of chop paper. So, we saw many of you or Accra or Chimota or Prempe and control exams back. How is that standardized? And I know will be so. Akoma, Uko public school, Uko charter school. They all have the same curriculum.
Yeah.
The same curriculum. Almost the same teaching and learning materials. Everything seems the same. There can be teachers on there, any students not be absorbed. That is the difference in this country. But Ghana and Tessa, one, if Enra, our Rosamana can Quadama, Kumaku, saying, and what you are, Omko Fro Kudua, Kanu, so I say Kanu Kudu,
yeah, Kudu.
Mudiko Square, Akubutu Amo Aku. Even so, some even if Manu almost survival, and now more association, and I know still I didn't before Kanuna Kusku, but the point in it, Aquada will travel over 2 miles, Echo School. And yes, or take car, Papa Bimu could also ensure that they are in Kualana and a canoe could know Otie.
Yes,
they paddle it themselves. Yes, they paddle it themselves. In Takwada on Wodika or kick canoes for over an hour a day at school. And Obi, I did not come up with you called that board. There are so much to catch up with. The disparity is so big. So, Now catch him say you want to do standardized test. Now we dear grandma say who is serious. And then this man was the man. I want to me when it is a Diana Metaibo Anopa. Our car say Obekasa UN. Okay, the last edition of UN. Our car say yeah education in your practical. Now Timiko schools no bisa on your Kwadaka no bisa say do you have any questions for me? There be into your no see team students no, which is true. I totally agree with him on that. But how can we get rid of that? We can only get rid of that through systematic approach. Upgrading your infrastructure, teaching and learning materials available for students. So now it's a video now she said it. Nkwadate from pa na womu efuda from Asia. Now she said we have a long way to go. And listen to us. I recently saw some TV programming where they were talking about Ghana's school of shame, and I was ashamed because of all the great things happening in the country. We want to focus on the negative and get the world to know that there are negative things in Ghana. And he's not ashamed that this man comes from America, Ghana. You are not ashamed that these kids are on the floor writing with their stomach, but he's ashamed that we are selling our negativity to the world. Not if you say being ashamed, because yeah,
say he was hurt.
I had not. Yeah, let me read the story to the fullest. Let me reading it. Make sure documentary look embedded in the story. Kase mirror who say e modern boy ye boy nyina kwa ye da so we bi wo system ni munti e kwan bi esase ye fa so ni yi sa de ni free ho no ye be ye free ho but rather no he's focusing on integrity and then the image of his administration as a minister and the political party he belongs to. Say the e koso papa na e koso education system ni na ye je go on ye focus on the hey. Is this man from America and he just went to Ghana to be a minister? This is serious, Manucho.
Yeah.
It's very serious because he's one person that I respected so much that I thought he was going to do a lot for the country. Dr. Yewo Seduchum. But if this is the way you are also thinking, this is one of the reasons.
Oh, yes.
This is why people think that you're quiet and you're corrupt with all the brilliant ideas. A better radio, so a casa, you're not katikati, you're not den. You could do fear. See if you go to Rome, do what?
What Romans?
The Romans do. Intina yourself because and Kobia what's in America. What school America? What America education system? Also the American education in Ghana. No, who say will be the form of no be the documentary, and you should be thankful that these things are being brought to bear for you to know and work on it. Nothing achieve with full educational policies. But rather, no one say, I don't know, now we are ashamed, they say, upon all the developments that you're making in the education sector, no, we now decided to focus on. If you can focus on them, Jesus baby, when he was talking about the shepherd, or say, when the woman oha meboa
yeah
no mo kwa didie na ba ko ama onya 99 no ho enye den enko hwehwe ba ko na waira no. Have we sat down to ask ourselves to expand on that? We see your positivity with education sector. If you focus on it, na enjoy omo mayira, omo mebo, the vulnerable in society, omo platform, omo apatase so to omo school ni. Enjoy omo na focus on achimotes, the Kumasi Heights, the Prempes, the masses, and so on and so forth. So we should only focus on those who are already high. Now omo that form omo food share. Yenja omo so to omo yan baby omo tan canoe so paddle canoe for over 2 hours and some omo go school na canoe no timi tani ekum omo no eno de yenja ka na yenka the progress you are making. Is that what the minister is telling us?
Yeah.
Nti omo yira na esese ko hwehwe omo bo otin kurase any nkonya any school dining team any good teaching and learning materials and what's a utimi bo omo den as a minister now fighting to work on infrastructure, to bring some equilibrium in our education system, no, you rather stay in. Say, you focus on the positivities. Oh, Radin Yamobo King Kalusha. Radin Yamobo papa. And a little bit on the WAEC, meaning Kalus, meeting the WAEC, the Anka Roma. I think that West Africa Examination Council, it's about time saying so Danny initial Mukaka. They blame people. The last year meeting news in the say phones so then call examination halls 43. But this time around I do 70 something.
46.
46, so when I call 70
3.
Okay, mention tiny number no. And I call 73. And see, I supposed to send numbers no so better no. It is rather what increasing. Why for it's about time say you best scrutinize you on so. Manucho minu na ya fast process ni bimo. Even some of the invigilators no cry Jessica no mama examine a student ni be the adhere phones ni be call. Some people are rich, they buy some invigilators out. Some schools want better results for their kids. They do that, and in the first place, exams leakage neighbor. So I think that it's high time that West Africa Examination Council because first I didn't know ya council paper ya be say ne send kwada channel. And more do say you find a way out to. It's about time because they say almost 73 students in Wakalu almost chomo results. Into much chomo results no are they supposed to rewrite or they are done for the rest of their lives? Oh, some of the things, no, maybe Nana Manune Yakasa Todboli, UEFA for who's a loophole or one edge loophole. Also, they didn't blame Chelsea, oh, no. Or one who's a loophole, until they have to close the loophole. Also, Africa, the area, no. West Africa Examination Council, any pebia manucho, any pebia, and then I meet news, no, Obia can be, I'm saying, Dan Kokuya Buamus person. And Omoka say, Ghana for, sorry, I say Ghana for ya, Ghana for Pejuma, Ghana for Pem Rasudi, but Ghana for Korea, Emperor, and Rasudi, Omoya Quadro, Mutu Kwamba Butra. Ghanaians are seen as the most hard-working foreigners, even in Holland, the Boma Basunano. So, in Chadi, not just a Mrano, Yaman, Enya Juma or Ghana. And that is the problem we have. Institutional, say a minister, say a judy, Obia, Pese, Bonabasu, Obia, Pese, the Oya, Enko, Yabeka, no one, no improve. Because WAEC, it's about time we leave the students out and focus on WAEC. So, also, we examination body, put measures in place, make sure you have scanning systems. Said the academia to me for financial botomunya day, and an socks and an pabo munko. And now being to me for being kosher and some exams no crash started. But if nipa, it is all my loopholes no at the mudia, they will explore. Such as a Manucho president, Donald Trump. Natasha Samba, there some no kind. Was it the loopholes are there? Indeed, the loopholes are there, and no my explore. I mean, yeah, bonnet. It's about time say why I think that they have to look themselves in the mirror and ask themselves what they are doing wrong. No more correct this idea no. Na the dia we examsimu ya we say and kolamo we muntrafi and when him say be most results cracking kalu according to the story yes some are still being withheld meboa.
Yes.
You see, into some Kuala no they are 2 years, no atnafi, no social vice be no abeya kwada bone. Ni nyina why for one your Majuma Quadano who's a loophole or capitalize the cultural nations because if you make the loopholes Manu people will explore. Suddenly me party human nature. So I say it's a thing that so they have to sit down and look themselves in the mirror and correct your mistakes. I'm supposed to always blaming students and as to school where we exams and I leakage by and we trying to pay them and they have to look themselves in the mirror and correct their mistakes so that the students can be free and all kids in Ghana, so just like the president said, can have free access to education and probably a better future. Kalu.
Okay, thank you so much, Opo Nashan. And I'll tell you, Wasukuswa, Unity Radio. Manu,
yes,
I say, EDC for 7, I say, I had a Menawa Ghana. It's the but say a Chamumino. Oh, side now, almost say, Quano Mofasua, Omoye, Sam George.
Yes,
Ababe Kambi, and Mutala Mohammed, Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. On also say, and your neck for and appointing Kofono. It was done by the City Kotiana Fifi. The changes in NDC for no, and Americana Sam George Kwaso. See, even SH headmaster don't sit in their offices and appoint head boys. There is some consultation, as in common consulting Kofubi. Sam George Nina Mutaka say on your show say neck for na for na 50 Kote ne chairman said I'm gonna make it that changes. Okotamali so the supporters of Adona Idrisu almost Tommy radio station me na Makoko deputy general secretary Haruna deputy general secretary MNDC Makoko Bono so say omoko so mo kan bi and omo ye hand Idrisu a fee office na mo be kan enu sema akam wa so na so nim Sandogwe
yes
Sandogwe
the cameraman on Joe be camera
there. I hate on Ben Epstein hardly say Ben Epstein say I didn't there John Mama any movie pa ena yema Haruna Idrisu ni mutaka free hono Mama ni ubi ina eyi bo fu say Ben Epstein the onka say mi amfa mama o de bia say yama ni bibi o say dey o ka bibi fa to no so atrociates on Ben Epstein about this removal and 2 years you are some bit me account na fake ato forcing so or say NDC force should come down. He's going to work with due diligence and now so and the minority will hit on the road to educate Ghana on the impact of the economic crisis a woman and the far and conform Montiaseno Sam George Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed and NDC for Tamalia Makobo as a deputy general secretary and a Sandogwe and a UC Seminole, Benepsi says no. Macho Betna Canina Bumana, watch our Janafi, we are Makoba by Opo.
Yeah, I think it's a running story. The bottom line is that the more you listen, the more you realize that it's it's an unpopular decision. I mean, without missing words, it looks like the decision is very unpopular. And it looks more like someone is pushing. He's been punished for supporting the wrong side. Because from day one, there are talks. You see, because I've been listening around. On this because we want to get various parts of the whole show. I've been listening around and we want to get various parts of the whole show. I mean, in that regard, that. It doesn't really make a lot of sense at this point in time that you are going into an election that would be hotly contested, and then you decide to really do some of these things. But let me start from the very top. Let me start from the very top, in the sense that I listened to Sam George on this one. That we see is somebody.
I was talking to Randy on Metro.
Yeah, he's somebody when it comes to some of these things. He's a bit measured and he tries to clothe his own, because he's once told us that the special vehicle or the NDC, but Ghana the NTO please NDC before he comes to please Ghana. If he passes a comments like, even you use school prefect grandpa, there's some level of consultation because MPs now at the end of the day 137 MPs now the Bakunoba lead and they have Aruna as their main person. If you decide to change the status quo, I think that it will stand to ransom that you call them to a meeting, you have a wonderful discussion with them, sell the idea to them. It do baby grandpa vote and I say we been brain, but that autocratic way that ye as leaders and you punish them. No. I hope it doesn't go a long way to affect their fortunes. I mean, I know Opo said it beautifully that the last time I knew the Homuni they spoke about the character I said in Ketia. Either you are with me or against me, and if you are against me, I'll do everything in my powers to make sure that I kick you off my back. And
so, somebody will say politics is about numbers.
Yes.
So more elections. No being sided with you. No one we know. Eventually, when we near. No about be the chairman of the year, and that's why be the fiber of the partner. Do you have to bring some divisive mechanism? Because right now you need everybody for for the 2024 elections. You see, so why this divisive mechanism?
The truth is that when it comes to making some of these decisions, I don't think that it's not within their powers. That is why they were being able to do it. And I listened to Unisa for saying it. You know, because before then, over the years and by party constitution, Omun decided, say, Omun Tuaba, and as a constitutive assembly, then decide who should be the leader of the party. And just not saying Ketianum Nana, Omu propose here. 2016, that is when they proposed that they were leaders, all right. Maybe they had gone into election, they had lost any idea. Then they decided that maybe Haruna Idrisu. No, they proposed the name Nimuntaka Munina leaders. It was some people who sat down to veto. Leadership nani. If there's any consultative way, they should come and tell. Or started some year we say they didn't consult us, in which year were people consulted and some of these decisions. But maybe they say, you see, Bibiano say watershed movements and it will carry some loads and a lot of sense. But it looks like this decision it's been taken midway. Obi driver bus or do baby yambo break a cramponi assistant driver at once. I think everybody will be taking a mess. That are back. That's what is really happening. I mean, that is what is really happening to them. And after election, simple and come and Kebe say find a new direction or a new wind is blowing. And see, Bisa say, where are they even going to set? So you are not taking them to the back or second row, third row, or what? What role will be their significant role in parliament again? So they should no more talk. They can't engage in way. Those are some of the things that. And you see, Nyaman Yewe say Mutala Muhammad and so saying he's a member of NEC. And your connect meetings yes. And they didn't come up there. Because say, oh, neck need a decision near no, or say on his part. And we be a decision on Mobile channel. And I think I stand up going to understand.
Yeah, but maybe Sadok question Ben don't you think say is a clear case here? If you are a journalist, right now how the political landscape in Econo, you don't have to say anything about any political party. Because Wakoko Chena Junior is a journalist, and they be a no na yawaye, and or they back to eja. But for can ask him na one party faithful be, I'll link on him now or come be. It's not a clear case here. The politicians don't need the journalists to say anything about them no more.
I wouldn't say that. It's a matter of some of these decisions and also saying it should be backed by a lot of facts. And it can be very divisive on the party too. Because for Benefsin to say that Mahama is aware, and I say when.
But if you cut a crack, I say Mahama, they considered Mahama before making that decision.
Exactly.
But maybe so that's part of the industry to say Mahama, no more share.
Yes, and I say, listen, I spoke here that Mahama, in the past you've gone away with some of these things, but this time around, you need to be talking and also issue communicate near there. But obviously, like I say, it's a bit dangerous because Mutakane when they are still licking their wounds and they are like, no, Mahama Nimubi, I say, you bow to say because I Nimubi, I just it confirms their suspicion because it's an question you are the only demigod that people fear. When I say Ketiana, the only two and only. I think it's a bit dangerous at this point, but whichever way, no. I've heard people even say that I can say during Ketiani way, no, they should eat their humble pie and just recall them. But I've listened to Kasela Tolford also. I started making speeches already that is going to around the country and economically blah blah blah. And so just on there was some on here now you cross over jemu and idea. But I think they should look at the bigger picture. But inadvertently, no. It shouldn't affect their fortunes. You get me? I mean, some of these things maybe to be discussed and left to go.
But the supporters also take the loss into their own hands. Almost storming a radio station.
That one
and be the deputy general secretary. Say, Mama take friends or more.
Such a Haruna Idrisi of the top of the pecking order.
Yes.
You see, some of these things they will come. They will by all means come. I think it's in the midst of the heat, people will be so agitated. Now, moreover, politics it's about godfathers. Want to mean today say we are NDC and MPP and now we need godfather. You might just be there. You might not get the things that you are looking for. It will be tough for you. So I think in principle, I said Dunketia together with 50 Avicote, they need to really do a lot of consultations. I mean, maybe not change the decision, but the way Nyama if they are not careful, it will really affect them. It will really affect them.
You know, I am Raka say as you say.
Interestingly, we will not bet me a chairman.
So no, you're Tiagra.
If you have fito, but if you have video, maybe Sanama bro. But no more girl, but I will need my friend, maybe Sanama. So in all this, I think, like I said, pushing, pulling, shaking together, no, it looks like it's a very unpopular decision. And if they are not careful, it might just affect their fortunes. Going forward, they need to handle it tactfully. Because yes, sir, because I've listened to Mutala too. He said they were not consulted. No, they heard it on the news just like everyone heard it. Now a party in power. Now say more parliament to go, and we agree. At 2 scenario, they can be leaders. There's no two ways about that. This is a group. You have to be an MP before you can merit some of these things, and all of them are qualified to have it. But when you have people in there who are doing the job already, then you make suspicions, irascible suspicions. I sat here to tell you that personally, I think Aruna Numunta candidate, but I've told their usefulness. She said, "A black crash should have been given a front row." I think that the guy is doing well, but maybe on chair one tina, yeah, they are moved about 3-4 times, you know.
Now, maybe did some story. We say parliament, backbenchers, so. Yes. New elected iPhone.
They don't talk.
They don't talk.
Yeah, they observe numbers. They actually the numbers.
Yeah. To say we are first and second,
no, we have chance.
We have chance of it.
So the other saw parliament we select committee level. Say we are architect, me civil engineer, na ekofa. We be make me German, but in the chamber proper, and they agree. Most of the people who speak are people who you should have that credibility, analysis. And I mean MP. Mintis Wakasada Wakobe 4 times, but maintain a voice or even Kennedy Japan crank of voice song as our parliament about piano building. But parliament chamber what they on share make meaningful contributions be to the debates in the idea because it will be a parliament inside one they are more of law, they talk more law than we. Lawyers only have a field there and that's 1 or 2 people match with experience in that.
What the law has
yes.
Now Dr. Kesela to lead economic year because the second battle will be economic
more of economy
year now because of that into parliament discussing economy and I say most of a economical
I think I'm surprised NDC went that route. Instead of crackers NDC Sanka do for easy. Like a lead and answer economics. In not on by me another whoever will come fight bigger. So it's a flawed. It's dead on arrival. I mean, that whole idea that the next level will be fought on the economy near the Kessel of Trayford has been speaking. He's a ranking member for the economy. He's been deputy minister for finance before, and his contributions are well appreciated. And he doesn't need to be the minority leader before people start listening to him or he can start making sense to people. Those things in there, they are trying to rationalize such an unpopular decision, and I don't think that is good for their own healthy party going forward. I will not be surprised. When you're careful, you self-destruct and give way to your opponents because I quite say, okay, those who openly supported I said in Ketia and Mahama no Amuna, you are going to favor them now. I started here to say that NDC, that is their biggest problem. Look like there's no backup plan. Will be some sort of time about Mahama. Well, you better than I say Mahama. Everything apart from Mahama, they don't have anything that they have in their heads. What if something happens to Mahama? Invariably, where do they start from? Yeah, they need to be careful, and it's really affecting. And I said, Dunketia just spoke about. As much as the Haruna leadership is not being felt, or say Chairman Sabonsu's name is even. How many times about Haruna this year? I think that in terms of where they are, I agree in principle that it doesn't look like they are doing a good job over there. But still, you allow speculative people to speculate. And people they are perceived disrespectful. Haruna Numuntakano is now heightened. And I remember some ministers they were told that they were in bed with the government. They need to handle it well. It looks like they are very divided in this because it's a decision which was taken by a few people who are not happy, and it doesn't do well in those moments.
But yet that same as said Ketiano. And at time omo converting omo oka say kerofurata de o man nko because wabon nti obetumi afeli na babo am na nkofo so akono makwa endorse na manamba na wasa ko jembe bi say obu ofuo mu enye double standard no.
I think that maybe Ken was one of the factors how I come sin money ade nyina so no dey on share dan call that route Sami Jenfin call that route that some of us also felt that the noise they made they didn't show at that point when they decided to do some of these vetting idea. I think it's their party, it is their sole prerogative how they run it. But someone here carefuler, we can only sit back and enjoy some of these things because if you want to win power, you need everybody. And some of the decisions which are taken half-hearted and halfway, it might just go a long way to affect your fortunes because some people are visibly not happy obi akasa or cautiously optimistic, which means who say crap on, and these are indefensible. You can't even defend it. So at what point now you think that because they are not good, they are loose, they are what? And crampo no a bit more mature now. They no set even sabonsumni after marking square have they are not having easy with them. And we coconut your head like coconut. We KT Amond more. You see the effort that they put in. So to go and bring some of these young, brilliant, budding, we know. It's we are culturally not a stable country. I mean, we believe in certain things should be done a particular way. So for me, it's a tough decision. But let's see how it goes for them. But all I can say is that it's very, very unpopular.
Okay, thank you so much, Manichu Magandi, Dr. Tom and Pemon Wasem, Worcester, Massachusetts. And I was telling Kano. Opo, so what's in car? Missus, I can't Bosuo, Sam George, or say, head teacher, crown more appointed. Head west.
I think that's the home family time. No, make headlines, Nina.
Yo, koi.
But enka yenti Papa we kasa kaka former the former deputy general na president Dominic news
Dominic
yenti for about few minutes 1 minute there.
Dr. Ayin. Oh, no, Koso, me bet you.
Oh, tell me to say
just give me a second, me bo. Koso, ba o Koso, me bo.
Oh, na me be say obo na me de cash em sentina wadaru ma so bet me abo ne audio na me quick here, why? Okay. Well, they already know notify me.
Yeah, okay, Koso.
No, but I think na me person me building a point around the submission I know making me feel say my first point I made the best started this discussion and they say na manucho kase which year were they consulted? Say omo appointment which year were they consulted? I think say there I said sometimes a little circumspect. Now you put here who will be empowered. So Kaluba Diana.
What am I?
To FIFA in Parliament in these elections. I did it openly, and you can find out from Honorable Ahmed, who was virtually the leader of General Mosquito's campaign team in Parliament. And two, no one is bigger than the NDC, and no one is beyond criticisms in the NDC. The NDC is a social democratic party, and every social democratic parties, people have equal spaces to express their convictions and opinions on issues as long as they feel strongly about those issues. And we agreed as a country to charter the path of democracy, and the NDC will proudly say that we gave birth to this democracy. In the Consultative Assembly, towards the drafting of the constitution we're using today, the MPP boycotted it. The Buza Danko tradition said they were not going to participate in it. They couldn't fathom sitting on the same table with fishermen, teachers, nurses, farmers to draft a constitution. They didn't only boycott it, they spoke against it. And it is understandable because even the independence of this country was opposed by them. They voted against the motion of destiny. Buza led the team to the Queen and told the Queen that they were not interested in independence. It was just a group of charlatans who were agitating for independence. So the NDC can proudly take credit for this constitution and this democracy we practice today. I had the privileged opportunity to have participated in a lecture delivered by Professor Ali Mazuri at the Great Hall in University of Ghana. And Professor Achila Kwasoya was the chairman of the occasion. It was Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Lecture. And Professor Achila Kwasoya made a very famous but rather controversial statement. He said that Nkrumah started as a Democrat and ended up as a dictator. I disagreed with him. As a consummate Nkrumahist, I am in and out Nkrumahist. And he said Barole started as a dictator and ended up as a Democrat. What I want in the statement he made was not the controversial aspects of it. And then when he was challenged, he said, look, Rawlings at that time could have decided not to democratize and nothing would have happened. And he gave examples to many African countries who refused to democratize at that time because they had control over the military. So the NDC can proudly take credit for this democracy. So if we can proudly take credit for this democracy, we must not have a half-baked participation in the democratic processes. One.
Okay. Yabako Opo na fi yawaku bitie na no disem. Opo, sauti menka maneko. Opo Dasha. Hello, Opo. Hello, Opo.
Kalu.
What's the man come maneko?
I'm just one me too, honor, because me too can.
Maneko.
Yeah, what I was saying is the audio nana me I'm saying you know now boy and you played a wrong one, but I think it was still talking about democracy and saying that if people have strong feelings about decisions taken against them, then yeah, okay, they can talk about it. To begin with, my first submission is that me need NDC for number one, only is serious, and number two, almost person capture power in 2024. What I said. Before I even get into the details of all the headlines today, look at what is happening in Ghana now. The government's back was against the war. Ghana, and Nyoman Koye, the CD, the IMF, the Kenuforiata issue, coupled with Auditor General report about Nanwa, and also sending a lot of stories about negative stories about COVID. COVID-19 expenditure. Auditor General report just say yes, say sika debris. And no na ye news I can want some dwena won said your man be fan ni sibresi. On say NDC for the omu changes in omu leadership no. Abefa all the airwaves Kaluja.
Yes.
So you see, and NPP will be glad. They will love it. Say NDC for Kramo omu breeder. So that is the peripheral of my submission. Say, I don't think NDC is serious. Say, I'm going to news way, and the other capture airways. Emma or minor, a crumble, a crisis. Yet, they say this has become the topic of the day and everywhere. And getting into the issues of the leadership change. Maybe why. Harun Idrisu, I personally don't know him. Muntakadi, I know him personally. But I mean, others, no, I might not even know whoever they are. But Asembana Oka, you usher merit and demerit of the case now the Edin Komo. You know, I was just listening to Star Audio, but now, Wonkase, I see NDC decision, we know, remove an affront to the dignity of the minority in parliament. It's an affront. So what I say, if you look at the issues going on, Kalu, now we share said I know Dominic Ayene. I know I can't say there's a minority leadership reshuffle on affront to dignity of NDC caucus. Which is Sam George said you know what said Sam George said even SHS Kurano, and yes, I know Musa leadership. So I say SHS, senior high school.
Gentlemen, 1 minute.
To determine who the leader is. So that is what the standing orders say. But the argument I've already said is wobbling. Let's come to and look at that. In fact, one of the arguments they also made is that yes, the NEC can take a decision without consulting.
Maneko.
Oh, okay. So Kalu, the thing I was just trying to build a Bosha, NDC MPs found out the announcement on radio. And yeah,
after Dominic voice voice no 1 minute, but no remember.
Okay. Yeah, just 1 minute, 1 second.
Okay, but a party in the selection of parliamentary leadership cannot be abandoned, in this manner. And the fact that a letter written to Mr. Speaker by the General Secretary without the endorsement of FEC without the endorsement of NEC is dressed as a decision of the party. Now remember that I refer to others, 7. It says designated by the party. That letter is not a letter of the party. And I'm saying that from a legal technical point of view, it is not a letter of the party. And so if there has to be a letter, in this manner, and the fact that a letter written to Mr. Speaker by the General Secretary without the endorsement of FEC, without the endorsement of NEC, is dressed as a decision of the party. Now remember that I refer to others, 7. It says designated by the party. That letter is not a letter of the party. And I'm saying that from a legal technical point of view, it is not a letter of the party. And so if there has to be a letter from the party, then there has to be a meeting of FEC. The matter has to be tabled and a decision taken, and the principal officers can then be told or instructed by FEC to implement that decision, to convey the decision to Mr. Speaker. So this is all that I can say. Some of us are fighting on the basis of principle. We think that what has happened is an affront to the dignity of the caucus. It is not about personalities. Thank you very much.
Dr. Dominic Awini. On the same to Opo. Ayini.
Dr. Dominic Ayini. That is the audio name of Obomane. Metie a friend is saying Dr. Spiu Gabra. And also consultations are not mandatory. But what Ayini is talking on basis of legalities. And right now is Olumai and American. Say Mimi American because I'll take his decision. No, those from the neck of the party. But Uti Dr. Ayenia, or say the neck and the fact Omuninano and yet involved. They don't have the approval of the letter that was sent to the speaker. So my humble question is a party that is in opposition that wants to recapture power. Is this the time to be taking these decisions that would generate headlines all over to kind of mitigate the hardship discussions going on in Ghana? Oh yeah. Muntaka talked about the modus operandi. Since when were they consulted? Sometimes we've got to be honest with ourselves. Sir, your opposition said we a minority leader, minority chief whip, this, that, without being notified. Now what you already so say too, so now the only person for a name. Is that a respect? Even just that. Once I say Spiu Gabriel can say and you're mandatory. Sometimes we've got to go with our human instinct, moralities. So I didn't know idea what any of day, but you will be our own penalty. Then you support it. I strongly believe that Spiu Gabriel will parliament. And I'm going to minority chief whip, and I'm minority leader. And a deputy minority leader, this idea we do now, he wouldn't have liked it. But here we are, because and the people affected by the people he doesn't like. So he says consultations are not mandatory. Fine. In the constitution of the NDC, it might not be mandatory. But just like Samson, Dr. Ayeni Elkano, I didn't know why. It's a say for the coin. So once I say, more fake money, more neck money. Now, Kalusha, you know why? And I make cars and be a no my intimacy. So and sending stories be to your platforms over here. Dr. Dufoko interview. And he say, why not consider for the running mate? You know what he said? He mentioned Haruna Idrisuddin and Osabo Abamba Bindin. These were the two names Dr. Dufo mentioned in his interview. What I say, and then Manucho also brought up a very good point about the vetting, and I sent a couple of headlines to Ulumai and stories to Ulumai. Political parties now, before a decision comes out, and a real program that MP Bako Frame, Kingalu, so we should be glad that people listen to us. We real program now. The first call that I received was from an MP, and I say, "Hey, Matisa, Uno be preso honor." Sometimes they don't even know what goes into political decisions. But they don't say support to party. We don't just come on radio and talk. For your links. Even today, I spoke with about 3 big NDC people today. So what I said. And to the point is, we know what more now NDC for now more size. So that is the most important. Even internal elections, more baby amujina. It is as them affect you be a more pen as the emotions and the passion are different. And as I will be so affecting no, and now I'm support to the emotions and the passion are different. Then once we can say I'm a neck meeting yeah, because of a part of the neck meeting. I heard you reading that story.
Yes.
Yes. And Tiadiana must say call neck meeting. I know you might say me make a neck for this. The thing is, we have done it long enough to know. And I gave a typical example of how MPP got rid of Polafoko and Kwabene Japan. Only information via my NDC. There was no evidence to that point to say Kwabene Japan and Polafoko. But the point is, if people are in leadership and they want to get rid of you and they know you are not on their side, they will find every means possible to kick you out. Oh, and my young name himself, your friend is saying, MP, NDC for before I'm going to go about Parliament, minority, there's no leading campaign. I said, all the minority caucus support to I said, Haruna Idrisu brought a statement out, said that is not true. So, him coming up boldly, being the few MPs, I know about 9 or so of them, I'm support to for some no. Now, I don't know, about one thing, and I never catch us and chop what they said is not true. No, now, same way, because sometimes you've got to use your common sense of judgment to deduce what is going on. And not to talk about say obi or can neck about the cancer and then Dr. Ayin so can say the team doesn't even have neck approval and let them know every secretary was straight in the by. So where did they have that meeting? And some judge also just hit the nail right on top. Now me know what I say. I was reading an article right now. Kaluja, 60 of the NDC MPs, 77 are approve or my endorse the decision from NDC. 60 of them. 60 MPs. Making a boom when you ready, Makuma, see a show. Say, almost say, decision. So, I'll have Sayi Busuini, Dr. Kwabna Donko, Dominic Ayuni Ramebonidi, Ernest Nogbe, Eric Opoku, Yusuf Suleimana, Sam George, Samson Ahe, Ibrahim Mohamed Mutala, Edward Bawa, ABF Husseini, Abeg Nego, Bandim, Collins Dauda, Thomas Nyakwampin, Edwin Neal and Tevan Dapoy, Isaac Adongo, Angela Oforiwa Alohute, Linda Ohinewa Akwele Oklu, Haruna Idrisu, Haruna Seydi, sorry, Teddy Safori Adi, Dan Latif, Zuwera Ibrahima, Clement Abat Apak, Goffer Seydu Jaso, Emmanuel. You see, so I was giving you the full list of NDC MPs who are against, who have rejected the change of leadership. Okay. So a party that is serious to recapture power. Why would you do this to yourself whilst your opponent now who power is in a mess? Is in chaos, is in crisis, and you become the topic of the day on TV, on radio, everywhere. Are you serious? Just because I am still standing by my point to say, this decision that has come up, a personal hatred, and nobody taking decision. It is not from FEC, it is not from NEC, and even if some FEC and NEC members are involved, it is because they like maybe Johnson Esiedun Katia, they like and because they are in position now, mostly more in position, once them because they want the party to progress. What they are saying.
But also on the brighter side, the Atoforce has just hit the ground one and say it's just going to make sure it's going to do due diligence and also going to educate the Ghanaian masses about the economic crisis. And so no cry, I'm out for no say man. Watch it, Professor. No, the boy NDC.
Oh yeah, but to see a headline for Francois, we say still I know recognizing as minority leader. Do you want with the Is this the chaos of Mope? That is what I was just talking about. But I think it's a very good move no one making. And on another headline from Joy FM, also on it, Haruna Idris and so in your personal conversation, a very fruitful one, which is good. And just like you said, Shesa, I was saying maybe for Aston office, I call for Deputy General Secretary. You see, is this what you want? To be dominating the news and everywhere? Meanwhile, you are in a position packaging yourselves to present yourself to Ghana to come back to power. Is that what you want? And they are all kinds of now, and I think that is the right move. Now, there's so much
almost Tamale radio station, me, I call boy Mustafa. Gabadi.
Tamale area on the deputy general secretary.
No, deputy secretary general. Deputy
general secretary.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. What's the hello, what's the Oh, poor line. Aye, you better say, best back up, poor running up, Afina, you did Medino, as so. And you. What's the banker? I'm an uncle. What up, man? MBA 4 lines.
Yeah, thank you. Now, make us say there are some articles almost winter car basso. So the way I was here call people to calm down was I say and Haruna Idris with Tamale because the SEC here maybe it might have been even worse because even if Tadiano Crafty neck sometimes mama you sebi ya home see ibinu so so nan mu kakra say many this idea ni anka be me de ya more position of parliament so you minority leader minority chief whip, deputy minority chief whip. Now, what I say, yes, you would, Yam Frakrata, what's in the radio. So, how would you feel? And you have people strongly, passionately arguing and defending this position of the party. Changes made will be uncustomary when changes can call. Changes made a party no prerogative because parliamentary leadership a party no they have the right to do it, but do it the right way. You know, consult FEC, consult NEC, come out with a decision, get the people affected involved, and then let, just like Dr. Yinika and FEC and NEC implement the decision. Not be uncle smoothly. You don't have to create chaos. Anything the man will read it down. You can say, Sandobu, not Sandobu. Then I say, I see you don't get any question in Mahama, and I take it a decision.
Yes,
so everybody will make attributions because of the way I didn't see and yes, and I was in Keko. It will be all common sense, any stories. That's why when you learn psychology, for instance, connections, then I'm going to start 10 way. So I had to say, correlations. I didn't see now connected. So, because now I said, look at it. Economy, if we say, Ghana economy, if we say, I don't know now for some people here, chairman, or 1 year change. Why now? It is the prerogative of the party to do it any time they want. But then people can also ask, say, oh, we can make permutations. It says, look at ya. Anyway, issue, we are support to, internet. Every reasonable person. You can also see and that will allow people to read more meanings into it. And Muhammad so I say stand up with Benson has become a critic of Muhammad and what he's bringing next and all that. My point is, what I was saying yesterday was Kosipa should have given us a better news than what he did. Say, Mahama also says Mahama was duly involved because the Muslim Kofano neck anywhere, neck party no neck no old sitting president the top hierarchy of the party. So and all decisions they should be involved in the decision making process. And the whole thing is Kalu, me feel say quite more fast and some of us I know the party no quite some but maybe feel say any tiny personal hatred be woman if you feel say we are supporting it we implement them we and you say oh and na me see and you see ba because you omo person mo kele Haruna Idrisu political career because omo will start after Mahama is the next in line probably which me about the flag bearer. Oh okay we are on to we say now a man for I know be a devil you can say devil advocate. Everybody will be thinking through it and making their own attributions. So I think the NDC, if they really want to be in power in 2024, they should do things right. I think this is a big minus for them, and I think this for me makes me feel they are not serious to win power in 2024.
On 30 seconds, Canada Japan, also for to be
Canada Japan shock me, papa. Wait for a second, the Japan team may have a better president for Ghana. I'm telling you, this is the same man some few months ago. Also, Chelsea, a deal for Ghana, or kind of credit. Oh, they were power to Mrs. Sandy Pageant all of a sudden. Okojana, also, Ben Pana Okojana, sorry, them, I'll cast a fake prophets, no, say, no, into by Obia or what study. Actually, no reason behind also empower prophet papa.
Okay.
How can they Japan Okojana, sorry, them,
and I want to say prophet papa.
People cannot stick to their principles. About power, no one lay down more principles, no more philosophies of life. Just to get power.
You cannot say it emphatically. Say, "Obinya prophet, Papa," because you are not the prophet by yourself. You are not making that attribution.
Nah. I mean making it so. Okay. Let him kill me.
Okay.
But I can say, sir, to me, he's not a prophet.
Okay.
Papa,
all right.
I can say it on authority.
Better was it for contribution. Thank you so much. Upon national telecom. Yeah, call Dumoso. Moi, program the ethic, you know, when I do Musui, Yabamusi CI. I'm not trading any lemonade finance. Omona maso this party so the Abraham. Wow, no man 2950 no on do so pacho manenko why hello wow no man 2950 no on do so manenko what menka
the great
Osama manenko
my monitor me tia me nya kwajo poku me tia George Asante na ma ete and I'm the chance to come amun abejapo nyina no poni obia the abejapo yeah and this for you na ni the better for ba bia nye mo ya say ka mo pre general meeting ma obia ya we involved na esedun ka tia ne ayinku amotransia plan adi mo yi we free ho se sia ya akobo say mo mo pe 2024 election no mo pe samuwini no mo akwese akofa problem abeto ayi mu abeda mo timi awini asa mo fra party na adi o mo trasi trecho mu se say ne ye be mo keep nipa mienu samiesa mo take mo decision akwese ya abeda mo timi awini muntimi eti o mo twa no mo confirm radio
okay
you be see am out
you meda sipi we nana ojambo ama nana ojambo ama na do so manenko Ojambo
Kingalu
Metro Kamanenko
mention I noticed the Anochi coastal na Bakosi na US war more nyina so mention ma pon more secretary ma mention na say kuma na America say who's a guy yoda na you Ghana for you achieve Ghana for you all back and for sure so we talk for this we can back right because you will say kuma we na ban for about so Florida and I'm not say now I mean no one say I want someone what can any now opo one and mini am mean nka bi aso na no ade ni here no ade because seriously me anya me be se college no se bi ni ya panel ye no nya banta dia but opo esa ba no mo studio no yi ano dia na kameto studio program o man dia no be kasa ya opo sa ba chiri ebe condom chiri no na enye me de kantanti na ta na ya te bono so ya mai na me ko ni no tene no ameka me se bridge bubu a arma on fa ho
NDC for us to have but me again ni na abano our NDC so yeah 2032 omobeba bem say you realize we na say di ba ko kan wa omobeba bi mu akremoni na bi so eya na do so there mama nka because of kon bia so 2032 na do so rebi na dia omo ye e say papa ni podcast ya na eyemi ya pa ko so ti pene ni masi ko na ya le ba dile student ya ni Muslim to come back NDC like so more ye tiwe you know person more ayi ba ya student ya then general secretary one of the national chairman ya da no ozai
ba jo ba nko yetio ka ba nko
yo eji me kan na se ne masi konde we ma bokwana na to am hai eti e bi se ni tungi ya boduma so e dia tai Ghana fo nyina kodwachi chief alanche maketi na 2024 no be so no na ye fo my kra na 2022 ana do so no kana papa no ya bibia aso ye di ye ba nyina won kasa no na ma respect na yo pa o mo ye no mtutu ne me na 2022 no o mo timi aba mambo se na ne do so meto aso bi on se e bi mo chi o mo kasa.
Okay, well, that's about.
We miss some college. Why are we need to make a castle to historic program?
Catch you. Well, no man 0093. What I do Suban Kawai 0093. What I do Suban
You Kalusha, my member Abaso Namenchia no Abeja phone na. Kalume Komasam Sono Mamenchia Unmunam for La Kwajuchi Martin, the next president. Any Urakun cancer. Na Kalu. Joy for no you know moko ye no me baby am no problem kakra wo ho ye say baby an nkra na de o ma ebutu form na classroom no ba ko ni ya pack monodex ni bigum ya pack bigum o sika bi e ba school mu ho ma ni man kiti bi a o mo punu bi a say o mo window bi a say o mo desk bi mo ni ade e du baby o mo fa bi mu bo nkonya no no mo trasi men konyo nyina bubu elie ne yasem kola butu fom minia yenso awofo enka ne ye kwa ananke yeso akonya ene yedi ko school we makwan anado akonya abafie ba se ne no awofo no anu so wajare ne ba no wa na tikọ so nko school enka ye de ba ye nyina yenhwe se no so yenso be boa bie se bia ye di nkonya asem no yenso be ye nkonya me ma na ma kwatena so asua de o school edu baby anase ye de bi bia to aman so ne ye be sere so we ye omokotwa ye ba yi ube komu no na omakotu hu anamo ba so ombesa kotwa ba biem so ye kan ye no omakwa akoye no eno ano no eno aso omabesa mfra mu sa anti ye be sere edu baby ayanso ye ha no makwan a omofa so ye oyino me kai se ebebi munuanum bi ko ba bi kotwa video by omukotwa no omo ba na sere contractor wo kwan no so ye adwuma a wo ye awie mpo no omo de dada na eba ni wan ka so omo kofa ba bi estate na do no omo nya na sa enti nyina ye be sere aman chichire ye no e wo tie nyina ka bomba ko na ye chichire na me nuanum ndisi fo de so so omo ye ne de ne nua enti aga omo kofa hwan ba kura yewura lanche ma tembe san twon ma bo so 2024 minia wuni nyame nya adwuma me da so
yo mesbe da CP pa bacho wonom no bacho ndo so to ba say one number 3255 what do so why 3255 what do so 3255 ba o ma mo ye
Mr. mo ba mo nka lie why obi abe cha Mamencha chama kodwago na mencha Mr. Danso of Dan Autorepes. Your college singing na ojambo ama. Kalusha I think say ND grassroots you need the management friends national executive na ye no. You need to mo papa MPs na mo ye say. One mo na ma MPs no e parliament party NDC. And electing MPs no more parliament. Nobody in NDC is bigger than NDC. Even including His Excellency John Mahama is not bigger than the NDC. Jen electing more parliament. So I'm going to represent the party. No decision national executive not taking a final. So I'm parliament. I am governor. Some judge no money some judge call prime minister. Or we need 4 votes. and or they get me Bejina and the name of NDC. And look why you pay you for a titriwa or Mobile Montana with me. I lead you are winning now 4 votes. The American question in an said 2015 after MPP as a party, a Pamo party chairman, a Pamo party secretary, a Pamo party first vice chairman, and still MP before by power. You know, podcast NDC near ready, no, they are ready. And a Kalisha Duma Moya no studio win. When the option be than some back to Sadia Bano. When the option be than some back to Sadia Barry. It's me and everyone no post like that some okay Sadia Barry. The side on board and draw podcast say to my best or more cat name come my idea near Buafu. May type of star politician. It's not that men take Kevin Taylor and the Captain Smart Mono. Mintio me come a kind of video to cross and then the more you NDC, MPP ended for any idea or Chilebi MPP and this is power. Some for an event to one the money idea or more any offense. Kevin Taylor mono omuno mbesa babeka abo Kevin Taylor mo etimi nkaso wa trebi mababa kaso po ana kalusha muyenya tumnuntino jamuya lendano mulim jamuya na mokitsa dia wa kwanya say as a party member and no podcast me say ebia empanyufo onimo omo mimi nimo omo kalu amnoburu of Kofi Adams one time a national time organizer. The whole brand for me and I'm the campaign coordinator, communicator, no quality, no customer Ibrahim, ever free, Ibrahim no come campaign, me team on. And to say your friend radio studio, but you say your fact, you follow the air course. In press conference, the Naba, Naba, Bakufi, Aruna, Ibisum Persuaso, Bakufi, Munta Camp Persuaso. You were 17 constituency or northern region. Constituency ba kupena ina ni mababa kata. You think say if they are like this constituency no obi akwana and support the party ni ya no.
Olma yana fa anu siwa. Yana fa anu siwa amafo bro wechi.
But the grassroots in why you fast as a minority that not first you know they are making consistent our minority something tell me they are not this mobile near bomb about so do baby now you want to say never be a more young come my party no some of us call it a party young saki omo it is then penny for that year no matter remember now and defending the minority minority elect them call parliament or when parliament or we okay yeah public one cobium and as a party is bigger than individual.
Okay. Okay. Medasipa Ulmai force na outing kan. What no my 3490 when I do subani ko 3490.
Yo Manitu wa what is wa sonfu eye he salati for ni bi sia da bia me ti mu di free for God so and then me no di ahia yi. Bi kam no anya mu kase.
Salati bani ko.
Kam ho ni bi amu na mo Ghana ho dawuro na amansan nyina esi Ghana nka no ka me nchira mo manu to de dika no mechia me papa bi mampokua bi sipoku beteneso anama chia the incoming president of the Republic of Ghana Honorable Alan Kojo Chirematen be bi owo chia no Ghana fo nyina kwadwo MPP nyina kwadwo delegate nyina kwadwo mechia no o hwe enne stadium framai ebo atan wo Ghana e kire se ibi esi me kire next week duada o ga papa Alan Kojo Chirematen what say what no ho kwa kire kro bia asante koto ko hene what krawre ni brewre nguma so otumfo se the second papa Chirematen no ho kwa kire no na fe wo bia wa si form e wo kumase na fe woni asante mai woni MPP delegate ni MPP fo ne Ghana man nyina adi ahyiamu na wadani team ko ne na dwempo atre ewiase ne Ghana man nyina ofiri wa na afi wa bawura bunu mamu afi wa bawura aha na we dey yedi mu aka go so na wo du go so na wono so abedi ni juma ho kama mini ameka ma atam do na me
bacho wa che no bacho enu so a na ono ko fom why
from the branch election and NDC for start o mu ntokwa eno mo de ba 2020 eno mo be kon ye eno mo de call national eno mo akokun te so mata de bawura parliament be na kire se o mu ni le tabia to Ghana
But all what mama no go for my do my feeding.
MDC my new move GDA young Korean fire and Kuma and they are MPC Amano Kono na papa Alan ko to ma ten yan to aba ma no delegate and Ghana ni na the my papa Alan ko to hey na Alan ko to ma ten o me tu fra na MPC na 2024 only MPC Amano Kono ni won fa yan ko ekun a da ye 2024 no na on ko tu fra no na only Ghana abanya na esuo na Ghana bibia ko so se de be ya papa Alan ko to ma ten when I was near my hairdresser for at the pound for tailor for 8 million officer for carpenter for be abenyan the
okay Patrol do my 7275 when I do so 7275 when I do so that was my uncle ya je so mo ba na ma twaso kakra man anybody to what say o ba na say yendo so ara wa me too you know because I want focus on it I say the head of local government service former trade minister Chief Alan Kodetse Martin this year and then Centennial Festival apart from Festival there was a kind saying Ubakaye na no nyam sanisi abofo asofo kudafo so mo de nsra egule ne bema ala Kodetse Martin so the next president and then no can say I want to work today oni yenu be man the next president omo ko chief imam ho Mozele mi fonya kudafo so na omo do nsagu yenu be man so sanite wonu no omo di mpabo kachi na eduma poma mpania ye no dachi former trade minister Chief Alan Kodetse Martin was also about to also because yes you know what is discussing with a bit information so no you to so be o I see look at your podcast go it touch your play which I will say yeah no matter what you follow with you no and tell you no why you shuffle I don't know people before you're not now we buy influence what we shuffle that what you reshuffle that she has a kitchen what the war now we're saying I couldn't say no man call you my war I'm not finance minister what didn't you make good ditch or do go man pokum and you man call you and the young what among and come your pafasia la prada na mesra gana mine mesra go say US for nada when you move on to one time you know be man ala Kodetse Martin you make can say chief that's all ba you know chief seven katianta you saw podcast call why should you when you better mafia na again any aye it mean you the whole kind of policy no me chief am ala coordinator president no media coordinator my chief and you adwuma you any salary mo you fan pagonya kompanta ala chi na me would give you kumase you go same you feel no go say we also across the country no ala go system coordinator ka so on system na see police station so for say ala ma o mo to aba abi che for say ala ma o mo to that what you need so you ma je kufo you ma ma fani fani enfa afena no ko lecha wa so o le chama ne bo nsuni na idi nyame eja na bo so e be da si pa pacho wa no ma no 3995 na do so ma ne ko 3995 na do so
ai kalisha boko
da so e
alhamdulillah wa wuni Ibrahim ne sunya
Ibrahim ma ko Ibrahim o ba wa ina ya na kasa wa chi next time o ba na onya do so na wa meeting why pacho maneko
okay mati
okay
mati ai mamin kyawa an kasa na men kyawa tie fo nyina da biya kankalu shi ana menene kasa da biya ai minya
manichu
opo biya amechan ani maricho be biya mo biya mecho mande anyumre awo Ghana na mude mo de Anopa na minche Ghana fo ne ho nyina na mintia se sa and some ya sa shafwe ba ya and they yenua MP fo mum anyhow mo chanyi NDC fo aye wajin kire mene obaya agini se ebia o kire wajin se ebia Reshefo e ba e no. Ebi awu kankalu ana say me ya opo. Obaka say eni oni enya agene me say because na agene. Because the way na agene say ohun no ebi ana nyesa me hunu. Na nyesa me mun die. Say changes bibia changes you. Number 2. Say rollers na end this by.
Right.
Amajo na rollers wo ye no party no party na guana.
Oh.
Party no say we. The party no ho dia. And the donor no I say ye. Anya the individual and ani babako. I so be ahunu sa. Media say ni kwansu pa na excellency John Dramani Muhammad Musa Rasha hu bia. Medi manage hu papa. So nim hu bi dia ebe ha me. So nim hu bi kwa say o ma consulting squad dia. Kankalu me we so. Me dem ni problem bia o. Ena they say no baby Ghana duru no. Anye MPP say yanso no hebi mu. MPP they say omo ana ewa banya so. The MPP ni de o ma ba be ena omo de omo gusu ye. Enti ene de nya fe na alankashi na. Ave de alankashi na ye da ki president na we na ko fa ko sia. Na alankashi be bibi an ko anya bibi. Ta ba we nya omo ana ebu. Okay. Aba ye so nya omo ana omo na ebu. Ai kankalu. Nti USA hono ma wo no say US for president ni nya di papa. Na ni minister sino na baba ya dia. Ai ma on pebe bintana kura. Gana fo ya ma jire dada. Kangolisha me chere US for nya wai. Nyakubo ma kroe.
Yeah, that's CP. That's CP. But you no man 7079. Una do so man ko 7079. E do so man ko.
Yeah, very can Yo, Kangolisha.
7079. And I do so ko.
Hello. Kangolisha. Ma choto menka.
Meto nkapa manko.
Yo, sister Pia Sunya, Tia Pleko to a China Mibucho. A child, ya want them, ya so good to the idea to Facebook. Kalusha will be a church, unity, the thing. Yet again, as we in America, Cafiabo, and answered the bomb about so far. King Kalusha, Ana actually going Kinkarisha.
Let's go, Kamaniko.
The battle is not the Lord. Yakupo transfer will say, a Juma and another about a yen. Oh, my queen, Emma, this is not my member, and you know, or the Takasaka Nancy or party. Don't win 2024 there. There were hash police and Yama yet day was done. No one that our king can say, oh, Baba, but Shana Moore over 2 years. I'm a Ghana voice now, or we are my intention, but I'm not some money. It's unfair. That wake up way of here. I'm a Ghana DBM said, yeah, it's my partner, not doing it. Say what you have a party. I'm going to keep it possible. Almost a Haruna is used to be my wine. I want to wine. I already can when he let you fire. One that he let Emma, you're not from a walk to the senator. Almost say, and now the Jimmy Aqua now, but I say, you're going to parliament, your party. Oh, you were next one at 2 4. It's the Ghana DPA or Ghana, yeah, and this is yet. You can't remember, and you're the 14 on the table. I can't get a consumer, and you're 14 on the pair, other than so Ghana for my one. There was 2 years, and almost it's in the Pabia, and of course, and this is what say, yes, Emma, or people say, yeah, 2 people here. Engineer say, yeah, Papa, Yan is a good wine. Ghana was Canada. It is almost say. Ghana DPR and watching. And we say, this almost Ghana a year. Almost Ghana a year. And almost to Ghana. Opia and 2024. From the 12 by the man. Is it a member papa? And I say, Papa, what the best
Mammy, I'm on Lucy. I'm for what you are. Yeah, man, that's why I'm right. But I'm not supposed to see. And you know,
Alanka is the same. I'm a Ghana boy, my year. I'm a young and I am one for you. And one a Ghana boy, I am. And this year, and someone with them to Baba. Ghana MPCR level.
But that's CP, Mammy, or Frefisiani. Wow, no, my Quadrapo who do some man quiet. Mobile and Tato, Emre, by the way, Tato.
Oh, the Yankopo Ayama NPP for a told me that I make us delicate for itself. So, be our unity radio to be the Alan Kodota Martin, Alan Kodota Martin. So, delegate 40% you break 8 years at the area pen and media. Yes, so my Branoswa, Omukwa, Momushopi, Amuja, Alan Kodota Martin. Now, what do you make breaking this? They do my mamma because I have. Mama, anybody who is funny because the Alan Kodota Martin is your best rep. MPP again and to quite another deputy general secretary and on my question of Momunio. Says MP Bakwa 50 actually. From woman and this other will be after Harry Idris. Now, me and Harry Idris can make giant name or Trayaba MPP. Because woman who said the Mama, everyone will play on another place or Baba or Mapino. It is an after party on the one from the best say about Harry Idris to see anyone we are. And that's all fun because it's telling the channel and crop for them. That's the idea. And there's no party there, Pamani, now, NCC, any delegate, make a show me a Omo fire Alan Kodota Martin, no Mede, a baton. Now, on to our Momosi and Tiabasre. Yabapa Alan Kodota Martin, on Saturday and quote Yabapa for one one in India, because Najumana or Baba Sati or 2024. The NPP 2024, better friend to my pastor, Kalumini.
But that's the Kojopo out to the Kano. Wow, no man, 0994. What I do, man, and Kawai. 0994.
Alisha, you manage in a Kojopo Bayano. My man for the cases, and I mentioned Manam for Lankodota Martin, former trade minister. Said the million de Cabacan, a good bay, Papano, who see from our Santim, in the Bakusiano airport about what in the Nimunian, the Bibia, Ababishia of so aerotical also, said the Kyoto Suye. Namen Falconia is an Amentia, Tama, Salbedia, Kutama 1, former Kutaman. And he has a Babla also USO, and I'm a Braba Martin. Karusha Mekum and Kaukra would dear, and Kasab Sabin Kisebu, and Kayeruka and Kaum so by the Hukubi. May a cabby. Said the video be back as a Royce Wee, a party who party name Wee. No the party name and then me a cabby. Because my was some and you Omoka. Almost some be Omoka and maybe a come no, must say, and this is party and not for the a Yankamophobia, a Muslim here. Man, I said, look at Jennifer, you quote me, we said, party Yankamophobia, and you Muslim Fodia, and then not for Fodia. Oh, sure, and no one says I got for crowd. I can't believe I could and one has already, all party. And I said, look at here, Parliament and Kerim Muntaka, minority. Aruna Dirisu, minority leader. And was up you in everything change. I can't compare any more Western, and any more way that I have a show. And no threat by a party right direction. He says, you can tell you go to almost on the party at the echo. I don't answer any other man this for one day. You know, Mokakasomo and MPP for them, Muslim for them, MPP for them, Penkremo for them, MPP Nempen of them, and among with NDC and MP. Also, any MPP every 4 years, the another return the collection, the almost a running mate, a Muslim, and as a running mate, if not for them. By an NDC for almost a year, and I think, oh, we as a running mate, if you were not, and as a presidential candidate, if you were not, if you see that. Now, minority no sooner can be a couple of war, and if you must be your former, let's say, baby of the party, no corner, and yet, when the man was said, no, no far. Ubo will say, Dagoma follow, and then Obako puts a just around 2024, almost any other ever. Just almost a party in the Engra, almost your party, one year, the woman, and obey your free. Karusha, maybe Manu Sinidi, said the American Cabacano, the young Bobois, and the Kumatia Lande, Osha. You are Kodota Martin, Bana or Bana, as far as you also, because Kumasi International Airport na was wasing constituency. Eti abobo awon ye fa ye hu sie. Ye fa hu sie tese ma agro na ye fe. E ba buru adu so wo ko na nkasa. Obi abe hu se papa na ye de esi fom. Ye fi wa na ye to so akotachiman. Ya ko bromem ya kwa ye adwuma no na menim se bibia be de be de na kwa Ghana fo nyina be hu se de me nuanu be kan ko de buku be kan se de dodo na ba ye ka se e se edu ona bola ko do tamates na ye ne kwa edu no so
okay
etu ayin emna no so a yan ko ne ko to obama papa no se de be be tima break it no ama Ghana fa no so papa fa ko be bia duro de e se du mfidijuma ono so be tima ye ama Ghana etima etumfo do be sia mo bia be
yo madam asiye pa pato no mane 0249 una do so mane ko why
Mina kabisa really wuni ya sankara ni
sankara barko
adenta mina kabisa really medical board na do dan kwa gufaro abaso ni nyuma dia wudi the free education aboa amankra do no atimi ko university ane de saano anu nti ane yese omu wi a da se bo amba be yaduma so amba be yaduma dia ane na aduma wi ane hwan aduma wi ane yewura kwadu alancha matin ono ane waye bida ono ane uguso ye ono so na betim di Ghana MPP break the 80 no mini Eduardo be kuma se be biti manhia nyfie yewura alancha matin elande tikafo no bebo twi nita da akota bapa nachi mini azie dinga dia ne ndi asabo de me de metekwa na ye mesere na biru kozita de say Jomama eni mubi Jomama na ye orchestrator ono ene pushi asie dinga dia ono ene de samidiam sensu ni get omu nyina no Jomama ene do mo ba kwa so ati ati enti obi a waye wadin say Jomama na yina probably 4 years old kanu o ma ho kwaje o ye dan be yo sinchen so ati ati enti o ma hu say elna bruce o ko me before side isane tie dia ene yampa won jiwa o be ha ye so wu na mi ati bin dia ye chinji sia ade na be fi maba atu 14 ya ordinary bay atu 14 mu ya twina boso wo gira court dindindin so ati ati wo gira court awo ambulance hontem wo gira court so ati ati o se economy nti no dia 2% ba energy nti no de amako fi bua ba amako fi bua so na de Ghana 14 sumu 4 years you tell sumu 4 years amako fi bua e di na maye amaye nkania it is angro for wo so do mo ba any changes so aye onya fi wo ti dun ke kaka wo ti dun ke yan uko jira court a wo se mbi go yawo enti uko jira court ko jira da kam ya ma wo calculator se calculate no wo calculate ya ma ndi support have really enti je na wo yen so ba ko kra ana me ka de bia se MPP do outlaw ti kra no na nya ti dun ke ya ene NDC so ati afi MPP nya kra no ene NDC mesere sin ke ya change do ayi de me empa me ho me de me woni ze bibia no be fi mu aba bibia ni wa e be fi mu aba oye den 2024 ye be sa din kiso atwanwa ye wura kwaju alanche matin e din kiso be hwanwa ni ya me de wasi obi nsumra
besme da sipi pa but your last caller is 0530 ona your last caller ona de ewie 0530 but ona your last caller why hello
Daddy vote ni o ene
daddy vote mane nko
me chia mu chia bedwafo nchia timfo nya
yate
na o ye ba so ache na ayi ofin tafe na yenya kwanya won se yankopon se utu aduboni a bika wa no aru na grisu ya ni e ko fa yilodu ene niema ebegbo man no se bia ya ni ji katanga oka se ya se na ntia se no ni go for ye o share white adi ko da na mi aso atende ya mi na tia ne ka no share white no san fan ko da assistant ye tukatia aje ni position ni tem ye ko su nyina o mamu an tutu ye ni nyama ko ye nyina e friend this for o fo ka se bi mane ya mi dey say o mu nye serious because na no dey auditor general December
daddy boat sorry daddy boat line akati I'm on Facebook live na comments bi e men kan na fe your friend media name be Isaac Mensah say good morning my one and only Unity Radio. Isaac Mensah say my exceptional greetings goes to you Opo, Mr. Manicho and my one and only King Kalusha. You guys are more than superb. And I'm about say good afternoon my people. And Isaac Mensah saying I think it's time for Ghanaians to be grateful. David Abanyaga, David Abanyaga, say great morning. And Samuel Kwabena Ofori Amanfo, say I'm watching you live. And also some more kind Kwesi also, say greet you all in the studio. No Kwesi also, and Selassie, hey Selassie, go also patriotic voice. As regards to Honorable Kojo Alan Chamati, the next president, changing the parliamentarian leadership by the NDC party has nothing to do with election 2024. So NDC party will lose the election because the NDC party and JDM we knew in the past years have never changed. The value is the same. MPP will break the 8. And also so hey Selassie go so patriotic voice. And Eric Kwaku Bwadi or say and also patriotic voice. Bechem regards to Honorable Alan Chamatin. So the NDC think they can bring something different after wasting so many years in government. JM and his NDC should forget it. Ghanaians should not lose hope in MPP government. Greetings to Mr. Kwaku Nkansa, aka Papa Ni of Techimentia. Prince Ose Ejekum, greetings to you guys for the good work. Special regards to my sweet heart, Nana, and also so and Sema Ejekum Akan Prince Ose Ejekum Akanono. And Isaac Mensah, the corruption in Ghana is so great that it has been affected every sector, even in schools. Look at the school system in Ghana now. Since the whole nation is infected with corruption, it has become a subject for the student to study in schools now. Hey, Isaac Mensah. And fellas of Safo, greetings to you, King Kalusha, Manicho, Opo, more fire. It's a shame. God has mercy. God have mercy. And also, it's a shame. More fire is a shame. God have mercy. And also, some of the other canon. And Michael Amwakwene, Alan is the best man to lead the MPP come 2024. And Jonatas Odro Menu, homecoming of our son, Honorable Alan Kojo Chamati, with the grassroots of Ashanti region, we are waiting to see him live. My greetings goes to G30 members from Komoya Asamwasi constituency. And as a Mensa, also Paul, thank you very much for your great contribution. As a Mensa, I was saying, Ghanaian politicians are like chameleon. They can change every second. When they want power, their behaviors bright as white as snow. But when they get it, when they will show you their true colors. Alan Chamati or whoever they are all the same. And also so as a commencer and new law have only there be already to be in kind. And Francis Kaswa Datus. Francis Kaswa Datus. Substituting Haruna Jisu is like Ghanaian coach making changes in Black Star when the team is down by a goal. My regards to Honorable Mavis Hawa Kumsin, and also so Sema or the Bayano. I did made anybody say, now I say, for this segment, Anochi trading or 54 Hamilton Street and 58 Hamilton Street, and almost 54 near African market, BB Alcoa, Benyabia, Ato, and 58, a cold store. Now, Nambia Pibiano, Fish Bia, Pibiano, or bet me to chat amount, not be beer to me, Alco and Kayamon. Over fit me a fair, and not trading, or 508-304-6768, and Lemonade Finance, I know you're able for Quantum Point, or Fasu Seniska, and Malcolm about Wabusia for Ghana, a rating at Dasro, and 12.59. Oh, yeah, download your Apple Store and Google Play Store. user friendly. Odon information shema come on be verify bi am verify via ma na fe dem na otuma seniska akomo busuafo na bibia atumi akon kan ama almost so ya simbi oba sell home cho so boy tie dwumadi echi na me sa kam say dwumadi omo so ya say me dwumadi ni bro Anochi Chrome Restaurant Asamas Trading Dan Auto Repairs Dr. Kwabi Scientific Care Coco Catering Service and Restaurant Kumasi Market Anochi Trading Dream African Market 369 Benko Street Paul Hamantam no and Lemonade Finance and Baseli Homcho Omona Soya Sime did media by him. And I'm did media besi me am did media who chairman Emma Opo National me Femi King Kalusha Mote Manucho Magani Tatarita Mempem Wansem Master Jesus what's in Nka Opo National the CEO of Unity Radio as what's in Nka. Once again, me didn't Kikalusa. And I mean, did you any besi? Yakupo Aduma Ocha Anopa Nonkron, share say, Yede Anopa Bosuo, Ebro, Fimu. Yamame, Alex Kwabe, Biano, Michel. Na Yenya, Feno, Alex Nyako, say, in fact, Sidaka Sear, and Fa Fidiesu, Bongo, say, in fact, as Sidaka Sear, and Fa Fidiesu, moi, and then I'm offer, and I was saying, Yere Papa B, Queen Lenda, Moma, was birthday ne da no oda masie pa queen so say ne da na nijie ni kru Alex Nyako ye bibia kama ama na nijie de queen Linda mo wish happy birthday ne da na yimanu ni kru Alex Nyako ye friend Bongo say oda mu nyina ase yakopo ya aduma share your channel pa say ye de baka se video so na mbato obompa ya bobi mame ye fem kin kalosha me sunu hia pa bobi ni yakopo ya aduma ocha be copies 103.9 103.9 please 104.3 na yakofa kasiebono say ochano pa say de Anopa Bosuo ni ba yakramu mo bye.
At Eversource, a proud sponsor of Mass Save, we know that as the temperature outside drops, we all use more energy. And this year, with energy costs increasing at record levels, we want to help. We have low and no-cost ways to help every customer, including renters, reduce and manage their energy usage. Now,